Warning, Archer's Garage Live is not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Oh, hold on to your seatbelts. Don't forget to tie your shoes, fellas. You wouldn't want to trip. Getting ready to start the show. Archer's got to put on his makeup. I spelled that wrong. I can't spell to save my life. Hope everybody had a good holiday. Coming in. Welcome to the Crazy Train. Stand by. Just putting the polish on, the spit and the polish. We got some stuff to do. Where do you guys see the snacks I have for tonight? All right, clicking the last few buttons, getting ready. I'm getting there. Still clicking buttons, fellas. You know, there's always something to do. I'm never really ready. Here we go. What's up, everyone? Hope everybody had a good holiday. I'm still clicking buttons. I'm still doing stuff. Still getting ready. We got some little bit of housework to do today. So let me bring up a few things. We're going to tweak some settings. Let's see here. I'm going to bring up my live stream sources. Get my show agenda. Let's see. Let's see where that is. See if I remember how to do this. I did it last week, but, you know, I forget things. Let's see. Click on that button. Is that button going to work? There we go. Agenda 11:30. Load that into there. Drop that there. Let's see if the agenda comes up. If I click on that button, will it work? Yeah, no, that's not the button we want. Oh, I know what we want. Luma? Yeah, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Hold on. I'll bring you guys over to my main monitor. The main monitor. Jamie O is present. What's going on, Jamie? Say hello to everybody that's out there and happy Thanksgiving. Belated. Mitch Simpson. Hello, Arch. Yeah, check this stuff out. Look what I got. So we got some cool stuff going on. Let me put this out. It's smoking too much. So, let's see. They almost look like chicken wings, but they're not. These are like apple tart, almost like an apple turnover, but it's an apple tart, and it's in a pastry with sort of like, you know, like a sugar glaze. Like I don't need that, but they're really tasty. And then I just took with me, because you want to keep it separated. You got to keep them separated. This is basically cream, right? Heavy cream with a touch of confectioner's sugar. And you just dip it a little bit. You put a little bit on. And it's got, I think, Granny Smith apple slices inside. So it's that little bit of tart with the sweet. And, oh, man, I can only eat like one at a time because the sugar levels are so high. So, yeah. So anyway, I hope everybody had a good holiday. I had a burger tonight and I had a burger last night because I've been eating so much of the turkey with all the trimmings and like the glazed carrots and the sausage, sausage, what the hell is that stuff, like stuffing. The stuffing was all right. It was a little mushy, but, you know, with the onion and the mushroom and the sausage and a touch of garlic. What else was it? The smashed potatoes with the gravy, right? Nice russet potatoes with the gravy. The turkey came out mint. Now I'm getting hungry. Gotta leave. Gotta go. I gotta go eat. You know, and yeah, it's just thinking about it. It's like, But I had a burger tonight with a hash brown. I figured the reason, my thinking is I had a little bit of turkey today, just a tiny little bit. I had some other stuff, whatever I made. And for dinner, just quick, I had a burger with the hash browns. And I'm like, well, after the show, right, I'll save at least one of these. I'll have one at like break. And then I'll just put together a little plate. I put together a small plate on like this kid's snack plate, and I sent a pic over to Ken. He's like, what the hell is that? I think it's on a kid's plate. It's still a decent sized plate. It's just kind of narrow. I'm like, that's just a snack, man. Just a snack. So I'll have another snack later. But yeah, I'm kind of excited, looking forward to it. So tonight's show, so I want to go back to testing the chat window. So that's something that, I want to work on over time. So I'll bring up that chat window in a little bit. And I got my 1 gig internet connection, right? So that's 100 down and 100 up. The guy came. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We're going to actually up the stream in a little bit. Right now, I'm still running on the old stream settings. And this will improve the quality. And we're going to do another test, too, after I do that. We're actually going to upload. I'm going to upload a 4K video while the show is going on. So if the show craps out, test fail, right? We'll do that in a little bit. We'll do all of that in a little bit. Let's see, viewer comments. Yeah, I want to get to that. So a couple of the fellas commented. One of the fellas that commented on last week's live show. And, it felt like I put some stuff on the back burner. So I want to get to that. On Thursday, Ken did a live show with a bunch of the fellas, just quick. And one of the topics that came up, which has been kind of coming up, and I brought it up 2 years ago, was, what's happening in the industry. So that we're going to get to some channel changes and industry changes, because there's Ken. Hey, Ken, what's up? We're eating out of a bedpan. That's what it was. Yeah. Ken goes, what is that, a bedpan? Well, I'm like, why not, right? It's going to wind up in there anyway. Yeah, I'm eating in bed, out of the bedpan. It's clean. It's clean bedpan. So, yeah, and they kind of brought up some good points, and each one had like a little different point. So I wanted to add to that. And that actually ties in with the comment that one of the fellas made on my last video. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit. Yeah, things are changing, right? And what does it mean? Well, for right now, we can only talk about the actual changes and what we're seeing right now and how that relates to a YouTuber and a YouTube channel like mine or some of the other fellas. But then the rest is speculation. We'll have to wait and see. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I just figured there's a few other things I want to do. I want to give a shout out to Brother Dave. Brother Dave, yeah, I'm going to show you that first. But Brother Dave is on his way up. He's older than me, and I'm already old. So it takes him a while. He's got some back issues and some other things. He's road testing a newer van he's been working on and putting some money into. And so last I heard, because he texts my daughter a lot, last I heard he was somewhere in Virginia. He likes to, shop and check out the locals and go to the Waffle Houses and find places to nap on the side of the road or a nice place to stay. It's kind of like a vacation as he travels, because it's too much to travel all in one shot. And it's just easier for him. So he'll be hanging around here a little bit. I'll try and get some YouTube video footage of him. I don't know how long he's going to be here. But also, what does Ken say? Hold on, wait. He goes, it was good to hear Zippo was doing good. Yeah, I mean, Zippo, and he commented as well on another, on a video I just did, that video that I just put out, that I want to talk about that a little bit too, because that also plays into this larger conversation. When you start kind of big, and we'll funnel it down, because that plays into it. And for me, that video did better than all the other videos I've done, with the exception of that saw refurb. And I wanted to talk about that. And the question is why, right? And that also goes to the changing state of my YouTube channel and the changing state of YouTube and the industry that has to do with small equipment. Fortunately, it's a pretty big industry. It's like a pretty big YouTube genre. So there's a lot of maneuvering. But I think it's some of that maneuvering that's problematic. Now, what I wanted to show you first was, so I don't know if he's bringing it, but let me just bring it up, and I'll put it on the other monitor. And I'll show you guys. Let me just set up the other monitor real fast, and I'll bring it up. So I made for him, where is it? Did it move on me? Where did it go? Where the hell did I put it? Because I had it. Yeah, here it is. Bring that up in a minute. So I made for Dave one of those Craftsman lawn leaf vacuum chipper, yard vac, shredder, lawnmower, vacuum sucker things with the gigantic bag in the back. And I had a whole bunch of them. I wish I kept one, but I made one for him a couple seasons ago. And it ran good. And so he brought it back home and he was using it. And he has a fellow that he hires to help him with stuff. So his guy Friday was using it. And not for nothing, I actually have had, David has given me some of the stuff that has come back from this fellow. It's bad. So he says, I don't know what happened, but they think it blew a head gasket. So I'm like, well, watch some of my videos. I have videos on this. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you're all the way down in Carolina. I don't know what happened. They tried a bunch of different things, brought it to somebody. I don't know. And last time he was up, I said, can you fit it in? Because it's kind of big. No, I got all this other stuff. It was a different van. I think this van's a little bit bigger. So I'm hoping he brought it up. I don't know. I'm afraid to ask. But I said to my daughter, I said, tell him to bring the leaf vac chipper and the bag because I did the cleanup around the yard and everything. And I piled all this stuff up for like a week and a half on the front of the property out on the curb and in the street. And I was telling Ken about it and we were talking about that. And they did. They came before Thanksgiving with the bucket loader, with the scissor bucket thing, right? And they picked it up and they got rid of it. But there's still a bit more out there. And I'm thinking, well, geez, I could kill a couple birds with one stone, right? If I fix it for him, and he brings the bag, because if he doesn't bring the bag, I'm screwed. Then I can go use it to just tidy up out there. I was out there a little bit today, going through a few things, throwing out some junk that I'm just not going to use anymore. Stuff that I collect. I collect everything. Like Ken was saying to me and also today. It's like, the problem is like you go and you get something. He just went and bought a really nice saw on Facebook on Thanksgiving. And he loves to collect them. And they're not big, but the thing is, like he's in his shop and he did a nice job. He cleaned up around his workbench and everything. But everything else is like underfoot. At some point, you start really running out of room. And I've been cleaning up. I mean, some of you guys know that follow me. And I did the shed project this past year, and I've been packing it, and it's settling, and the floor is going, and the building is going, packing the hell. I was just in there today, packing more crap in there, a few things that were laying around the shop. It's hysterical. Let's take a look at his machine, but I hope he brought it. Now, I saved another motor or two. It's a Briggs 190cc. But it's a tapered shaft because it gets a gigantic impeller on the bottom of it. And I did a couple of videos on it a year, 2 years ago on a bunch of these machines. I had some of the nice older Tacoma powered green units. I should have kept one of those. I'm a fan of that. Like I'm privy to that. Not that there's anything wrong with the bigger Briggs or whatever, but just like some of the old Tacoma stuff. If I ever come across another one, I'll probably keep it because I could really use it. That's one thing I can really use here. And I did one where I took it all apart. And I think I might have swapped a motor because one of them might have had a dead motor. Or maybe one I parted out. I don't remember. The parts are kind of unique to the two different models, but they share a lot. And I think I even saved, this is an interesting thing. I don't know what I did with it. I think I even saved an impeller. Why? I don't know where it is, but I wanted to make a mount for Briggs motors. And, I was working on something not that long ago, and I was thinking, well, I put the motor on something else, but like you have the motor off on your table and the shaft is sticking down, and you could make fixtures and rigs, and I have stuff. But I was looking at this nice aluminum piece, this extra one that I had, and I think it had a broken fin or two. I'm like, save this, right? Because you could just drop it down on the table, pop the motor in the center hole. It was very stable. I'm like, you could tweak it and modify it. So I saved it. Where is it, Arch? I have no idea where it is. I don't know where it is. I'm pretty sure I saved it. I remember saying to myself, save it. I don't know where it is. So when I went to go use it, or I could have went and gone and used it recently, because I was working on a Honda on the bench. Same crap. I didn't even realize that I had it. And I don't know where it is. So I was kind of wandering around back there and looking around. Like I said to Ken, there's stuff behind the shed that I honestly have not looked at for over a year now. It'll be. And not only do the mice fool around back there, but you'll find all manner of like, it's bad. All of the larger animals will crap on stuff, and you wind up with too much. Let's take a look real quick and I'll show you the machine. Now, I don't think this was his. I don't remember, but I just want to open it up and just, quick peek at it. I'm hoping he brings it. I would really like to fix it. I saved 2 motors, like I said, because they're tapered shafts. I really want to kind of have that. Let's see here. This monitor. Let's go over to this guy. No, there's a whole bunch of them there. Oh, my. Oh, commercial. Oh, that's nice. Let's see. Let's just scroll through it real quick. Shut up, Arch. We don't care. Hold on. Oh, look at them all. See what I mean? Look, there's the green one. I had a whole crap load. I made that one nice. I should have saved it. Yeah, one of them was definitely driven. They sell for good money. Yeah, it is hard. Hold on, let me pause it real quick. Let me just find it. I want to bring you guys up because I can't see yous. That's better. Hey, TGM! What's going on? Oh, Ken says, this is just the facts, man. Just the facts. TGM says, good evening. Ken goes, he goes, I just used that green one today at my daughter's, see? Yeah, to Tecumseh. Those shredders only go for about 75 here. Really? Wow. The bags, on the other hand, are about $100. Well, if you have a good one with a bag, yeah, I get a few $100s for it. So, I guess I wish, if I get another one, I'm going to try to keep it. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that nice? Let's bring the audio up.
It's in nice shape. Got this one here, missing handle and everything. It's got a broken bolt in the exhaust.
Oh, yeah.
It's simple,
it's dead.
Right? The body's in decent shape. It's got a broken piece on the front, see? So that whole thing has to come out. Broken in the front. And
that one was beat up.
It, but we don't know what the shape of the engine is, but we might want to just save the
Let's just cruise through it real quick. Oh, wait, it might run.
Bit in here.
Yeah, this one had issues.
Extra helping hand, because it kept...
It was all wet and... There it goes. Almost. I just wanted to see if it would run, you know? It sounds cranky. Oh, it ran.
She's running all right.
Yeah, kinda. Let's see what else we got.
New.
I'll have to put the link down in the description for this video.
Here it is, right?
Oh, yeah, look.
So I'm going to get at my impact. We're going to pull this bolt out. I put a little lubricant on it earlier. We'll put a little bit more on. I don't think we're going to have a problem with it. I did take off 1 or 2 of these before.
I think you got to bag it.
I'm also going to see that one apart.
Let's see. Yup.
Something's happening. Yeah, you bend it, Arch. No, I think it's actually moving. Maybe, or who knows, right? Who cares? We'll find out.
That one's got to come apart.
Yeah, it's actually moving off.
That's it.
Right. So it's moved off. and this is still able to twist out. So a little bit of pressure. Sorry for the air compressor, guys. It's the shop.
The shop is noisy.
So we got that. It's on a taper. So all we have to do is break the taper. Okay? That's why these motors are different. So I probably have another one of these.
That's cool. Look at that. It makes a perfect motor stand.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these outside, and I'm going to give them a good cleaning because it's nice out. Clean up in here, give all the stuff a good cleaning.
I don't remember which one he got.
So
let's see.
And then we'll put a couple of
washers. Oh yeah, this one
We'll
had.
grind flat a few.
I had to weld the
spots,
case.
and we'll put. All right, I laid some of the paint on thick, so it's still drying.
It was broken. It was broken pretty good.
I didn't have very much left in the can, so I couldn't really control it.
Let's see what else is on this video. Blah 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 blah.
Want to check.
Oh, here's Sevely.
Okay, so motor.
I don't know what music that was.
I'm just gonna take a walk.
So I did a bunch of these, like in
All right, all
one
the balls
sitting.
with the nylock washers are.
It's a
Just
pain
lot
in
of
the neck to
pieces.
put together
Really,
again.
The biggest thing about taking one of these things apart is the filth, right? If you get the filth out of
Oh,
the
it's
way,
in everything.
and all
The
insects
crap
that
is,
keep
like,
crawling out of it,
everywhere.
your job's a lot easier. Now this one, the flapper is broken, but it doesn't have a hose. The other one,
Yeah,
the
you need a good
handle
flapper.
is broken. Look, this is the best I got. Okay.
Yeah, if that flapper is broken, it won't vacuum. So if the flapper is broken, get it out of your way, throw the hose out, put the
This one
block
goes up
plate
here.
on. Sell it like
You know
that.
what? When you're redoing these things, but eventually grease.
They
right,
have
gets
nice
pushed out of the way, so it stops
bearing
lubricating.
wheels and. Let's see, will it start? There it goes. I don't like that top. That top is crappy looking.
We don't definitely.
All right, that's good enough. Oh wait, hold on. Let the music play.
You guys,
It's
and,
pretty.
Definitely what makes.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, let's see what Maida says. Yeah, that's nice, and it came out nice. All right, let's kill that. Coming back. Kill the commercial. Stand by. Let's kill the right monitor. We'll come back to ATEM cameras. I'm going to put this stuff on a shortcut. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hold on. Oh, it's getting hot in here. I got to turn that heat down. Let's see. I used the green one today at my daughter's. Yeah, I can't believe you only get about $100. Maida goes, what in the wild, weird world of Arch did I miss? I know, right, Maida? I know. Yeah, the Quantum. Bravo says, looking good so far, Arch. Maida says, just put a cowboy sticker on it and it'll start sucking again. Oh, that's sad. Great camera work. Thanks, but Jamie. Yeah, that was more than a year ago. I definitely have got a little bit better than that. He goes, or the Jets or Giants, Ken says. Yeah. Yeah. But then you have to put the correct sticker on if you want it to sell. If you got to know who's into what. Because if you put the wrong sticker on it, right, then it won't sell. Bravo says, freaking frigid here in Alabama. Really 20s. Oh, my God. Hey, what's up, bud? What's up? So before I go any further, all right, we want to test, well, I want to do the chat window, but I want to just test the internet connection real quick. We're going to put it to a bit of a test. So I finally got the internet hooked up. And what did I want to do? How did I want to do it? All right, so I'm going to bring this guy over to here. So I finally got the internet connected. And you're probably going to see some kind of weird tunneling effect, would be my guess. Hold on, let me turn the fan on my video card because it's going to start getting hot. What was I thinking about? So the guy came, he was a Russian dude. And like the appointment was for like 11 a.m. Well, we didn't get done till after 10 o'clock that night. Sometime last week. I forget what it was. Tuesday? Maybe something like that. Because they don't even call you to tell you that they've rescheduled. Well, they rescheduled it like 3 times. You have to call them, right? I think it's like 611 or whatever. And they see your phone number and then they ask you if you want to pay your bill because it's always I'm always late. And then they're like, oh, they just tell you, like the digital voice tells you that it's rescheduled. They don't care. Like they don't care. But the guy explained to me though, he's like, look, he's like, I'll show up because they hire subcontractors. He's like, I'll show up at somebody's house and the internet connection, all the connectivity and everything comes, over the pole and drops down, let's say on the left side. But they're like, no, I don't want it there. I want it all the way on the other side. He goes, I sometimes have to go up on the roof and I string the cable over. I said, well, that's not good. He's like, if that's what they want. Yeah, he was a Russian guy. He's been here like 2 years. He's a cool dude. I was asking, I don't know if you fellas, any of you guys are into gaming at all, but one of the games that has to do with Chernobyl, which was made back in like 2008 or whatever, is called Stalker 2. And it's a Ukrainian company that made the game because that took place in Ukraine. And I said, have you ever played Stalker? Because they just came out with Stalker 2 and the game is exquisite. I mean, I don't own it, but I will eventually buy it. I just don't have the money for it. So I'm asking, he's like, he didn't really know it. Like he knew of it. So I'm asking him, like, there's this couple of different weird sayings that they say because the original game was partially in like Russian, Ukrainian, and mostly overdubbed or text stuff in English. And there was some stuff in English. And they say weird things like what does cheeky freaky mean? And he starts giggling. I'm like, is that just like a silly saying that anybody says there? Like cheeky freaky. Like, I don't know what the hell it means. And then there's another one where he's up on the workbench and he's working the fiber in. And I'm like, how about this one? I'm like, I'm probably going to make an idiot of myself. But I said, what does Amanye and Ignuk mean? And he starts laughing. I'm like, did I curse at you? What did I say? Pull your pants down and whatever? He goes, no, I don't honestly know exactly what that means. So we're kind of, I'm helping him out, working together, and he gets it all connected. This is how like after 10 o'clock at night, because you basically, your day is shot because you're waiting around for people that never come. Let's take a look. Let's take a little closer. I'm going to make an adjustment. All right, now let me go to the right monitor again, and you should be able to see it. I don't know if you'll see it. It might get all weird. Let's see, which is nothing new for me. All right, so down here in the lower right, it says dropped frames, 297 dropped frames. That's 0.5%. Like I'm down here, and you may not see it. It's 3,709 kilobytes per second. All right. That's what it is right now. That's what we're running. That is CPU is 3%. I'm running at 30 frames per second. All right. That was the max I could run on my old internet connection. So let's go crank it up. Okay. Let's go to settings. Come over to stream. Is it stream or output? Yeah, it's output. So I'm going to change the bit rate. It's right here, 3400. And, well, we'll just dial in 6,400 kilobytes per second. So that's 6 megabits, okay? And the keyframe interval, all of that, we'll just leave it the way it is. Click apply, go okay. And here it goes. Now it's 6,000, 6,900, almost 7,000. That's actually more than what YouTube wants. Now, the next step, that's fast, all right? Let's bring that down a little bit. Hold on. Let me just kind of minimize that. And set that up over there. And then this here. So now we come into edit me, all right? That is the YouTube control panel. I'm going to go over to customization. And I want to turn off, let's see, details. I want to turn off monetization. Let's get that off. Let's just get that out of the way. Go to details. Come all the way down. All the way down. Let's see. Is it there? It might be. It might be under monetization. Let's find it. Let's see. Monetization. No, that's not there. Customization, is it there? It may not be something I can change once the stream starts. But we can save that. Hold on. Back to edit. Now there's a latency setting in here somewhere. And you may not be able to change that once the stream starts. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. It's usually down here somewhere. Allow embedding. Comments and ratings. Comments. Sort by top. Show. Yeah, it may not be available. All right, I'm coming back. Let me come back to here. And I think I got one more thing I want to do. And we got one more test. One more test. Let's turn that off. Now, let me bring up me. Let me find it. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to open up my page. And I'm going to do, let's see if it'll let me do it. We're going to go to upload a video. Hold on. I'll show you right here. I'm going to show you right here. I'll go to right monitor again. Transition. All right, let me pull this out of the way. There is it. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Now this is a 4K file. Here we go. Yep. I'm just dropped the 4K file into my upload. Let's see, how big is it? 23,891. So that is, let's see, almost 23 gigabytes. That one video. All right, I'm coming back. Stand by. That's funny. It shouldn't crash. All right, so I'm still, I'm over 7,000 kilobytes. So I'm at 7. I'm actually up. I'm running at like 7 megabits per second. So YouTube wants, they tell you when you do a live stream, YouTube wants about a little over 5 megabits per second. That's like about 5,000 kilobits per second. That's about where they want you, max. Because they'll tell you if you go over that, for a standard account, you know, you could buy different accounts, like you can buy for YouTube if you do live streaming is your thing, and you want to do very high quality live stream, or you're doing news or interviews or things like that. Yeah, you can with a fiber connection, and this is just a 1 gig fiber connection. They have like 3 and higher. So if you want to do like a 4K show or something, you kind of have to pay for that. Like, that's a thing. They don't charge you very much, but it is a thing. So I'm actually uploading. It says 2 hours and 9 minutes left. Now I did a video that night, and it wasn't as long as this video. It was a little bit short. It was about 20 minutes. It was the one I just did this past week. I just uploaded. That video is a little bit less than a half hour. I think it's like 20 minutes, 24 minutes, whatever it is. That's also 4K. And that took, without doing a live show, that took 20 minutes exactly. The week before last, I didn't do a show because that video upload, which is about the size of the one I'm doing right now, that video took more than 24 hours to upload. And towards the end of it, it was getting to be around 8:30. Ken was like, "Are you going to do a live?" And I'm like, "I don't think I can." At about 8 or so, I tried going live privately, and the live stream crashed. I couldn't drop it down low enough. It wouldn't do it. And there's just no way I'm going to interrupt a video that's been uploading for 20 something hours. It stopped sometime after 10 o'clock at night. And the video had uploaded. That's insane. So even while I'm doing a show right now and I'm uploading a big 4K video, it still says it's just like 2 hours. So far, it hasn't crashed, and I'm getting excellent connection. Nothing's going wrong. So there's the test. We'll see. We'll let it do its thing. You tell me if the video's getting weird or kind of crazy, if it stutters or whatever, just let me know. So let me come back to you guys. Now, I want to try this. Hold on. I'm going to try another thing. So I shut that off, and I go to split chat, and then I bring you here. Let's see, I disconnect the, pop out chat, right? And I bring the chat window up to here, and then I transition. So this is the other test. And then I can toggle back and forth between the two. So now you guys can actually see the chat. Now, if it's still too small and you can't really read it, just let me know and I'll make adjustments, over time, and I'll keep tweaking it. But this is a new thing. I've never done anything like this before. So last week was the first time we ever actually fooled around with it. So Bravo says it's 20 in Alabama. Yeah, it's cold. It's like 35 degrees. Brett's here. He goes, dilly dilly. Buds is like, hey, Arch and fellas. Uncle Mark's here. He goes, hey, everyone. Hey, Arch. Uncle Mark says, I'm finding my 4K videos can take some time to upload. I tried doing them at work where the upload speeds are much faster than at home. Yeah, absolutely. And Brett says, we should try panel with that. Yeah, the panel would work good. But, let's see, Mitch says it's 24 in Illinois. But if you have a free StreamYard, then it doesn't matter. You could do it on my old internet connection. It won't matter. It means nothing. So let me just make sure this is caught up here. Let's kind of refresh that. Make sure everything is going good. Yep, that looks good. Because the free StreamYard, it doesn't use any bandwidth, and the biggest resolution you can get is 720 in free. They actually default you to 480. That's why a lot of people look the way they do. They look all yucky and fuzzy, and they probably don't realize that you can. I mean, if it's free, 480, 720. If you pay for it, you'll get 1080p. But that's about it. But it's low bandwidth 1080p, because 1080p on the phone is nothing. 1080p on a nice monitor. And there's also the differences between like 4K. When I say 4K, it's not just 4K. It has to do with the recording quality level. That's rated in megabit transfer units, I think. I could look at, well, I can't because the camera's on. This camera's on. So I could look at that camera. But these cameras operate between 50 and 100. This camera right now is in a very high quality at 100 megabit transfer units or something per second. But I'm running it in 1080p. That's 4K quality, but 1080p resolution. Because what 4K is it has to do with the number of pixels that fill a big screen. But to fill that big screen properly, you need a very high bit rate from the sensor, either recording to a card or going through a wire to something, a video card or TV or whatever, over the air, or whatever. You have to, there's different ways of doing it, but you need a very high data transfer rate to do that. You could run it at a lower data transfer rate and still have 4K, filling the screen of a 4K, which I forget what that is, what the size is. I could look it up. But it will just be a lower quality. Like you could have a very high resolution 1080p. You can also have a very low resolution 1080p. You'll still fill a 1080p monitor or screen. It'll just be lower or higher resolution. So that's what a lot of people don't get. And when you're talking about 480, there is no such thing as high quality 480 or 720. Okay, those are old standards and they're very low quality. A lot of times you'll see Hank will be like in a very low quality because it's low quality. It'll fill the monitor. It'll fill our monitors. It'll fill the box. If Ken shows him in like full screen, it'll fill that box, but it'll just be very low quality as opposed to high. So 24 in Illinois. This is Mark says temps are of, but with wind feels. Oh, I see. Negative 11. Yeah, I got you. So let me get to the next piece. Let's see, where are we? Hold on. Yeah, hopefully, Dave brings me that machine. It'd be fun. I have another motor just in case that doesn't work. Just in case they really screwed it up. I don't know how bad you could screw up. I mean, the motor that I showed, one of the motors that I just showed you on the previous segment, well, it had broken bolts and other things were wrong with it. And I think there was a score in the cylinder. And then you got to take it off and throw it out. But the one that I got them going good. Now, I wanted to mention, I want to come back to this. Let's see. Come back to this and this. So I wanted to mention, yeah, we're on that. Yeah, that's interesting the way that's laying out right now. That's kind of cool. Let's see. I'm clicking buttons because I want to see how this all works. So working on that 1 gig internet, that we're fooling around with that. The viewer comments, the channel changes, and the industry changes. So on the video I just did, I made a comment about the two simplest things that you can do, which is one, tightening up the intake tube because they're always loose. And that if it leaks, it'll make you think there's something wrong with your carburetor. And then people will start drilling out carburetors or fooling around or whatever. And the motor's not running right and they'll get frustrated. But the other thing is, as I mentioned, that you need to tighten up those bolts, the head bolts. And the problem with it is twofold. One part of it that I mentioned is that whether you put a torque wrench on it or not, the problem is, depending upon how long the motor was running with loose bolts, it may have already damaged the head gasket. And even if you tighten it, it still may blow out. If you have an older flathead, tighten them up, make sure they're tight. If you're concerned about not understanding how tight to make them, put a torque wrench on it. You don't need to. And I say this a lot, stop using banger guns and stuff. Learn to feel for those of you that may watch this later and don't know or whatever. I'm like, you need to feel it with your hands. If that takes years. When I was very young and I started working on hot rods, we started changing fuel systems and fooling around with fuel systems. And one of the things that I started using was brass fittings. And the smaller brass fittings, I would break them all the time because I just didn't understand how tight do you make a tapered seal. Now, if you're talking about 3/4 inch gas line and water line, you could probably never make it tight enough because they leak, especially for gas. Like I did all the gas lines in the ground and everything, and I've done plumbing for quite a number of years. But when I first started with some of these like 1/8 1/4 inch NPT, whatever, I was just snapping that crap like crazy. I'm like, oh, damn it, look what I just did. Look, this is a temperamental situation. I think that's what happened to my brother, because when you start putting the engine under a lot of load, the pressures go up in the cylinders, in the cylinder. And if that gasket is damaged, it'll blow out. And that might have been what happened. Now, I tightened it. Best thing you could do is put a torque wrench on it. But again, if the shoulders, the shanks of the bolts are all gooled up with corrosion, oxidation, and the threads are gooled up, because they usually are. I mean, a lot of times, you try to pull a bolt out of a Briggs cylinder block, and they'll snap. They're soft. For any bolt that goes through like the fins and comes out the other side, and you'll see the head of the bolt just kind of peeking through. Well, what happens there is all the junk gets at it. It oxidizes, rusts, and it's horrible. And when you go to pull that bolt out and turn it out, it will gall up and ghoul up all the threads, and it can strip all the threads as you go to pull that bolt out. So that's kind of why I say try putting a wrench on it and cross your fingers and hope for the best. If you get it early, it's usually just the bolts that are around by the exhaust, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe. If you can keep after it and get it, sort of catch it early enough and just give it a tightening, it should be fine. It's a Briggs. But there are those examples. Like I've said, I've seen enough of them. Best case scenario is if it's really loose, if you go get yourself another head gasket, pull everything apart, clean everything up, pop it back on. It's a fun job. Hopefully I get to do that. If I get to do that, if that's all it is, I don't know why they couldn't get it back together. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with the damn thing. I would try to tell them and walk them through everything. And to me, to a lot of us, it's like one of the most fun, dirty, but fun jobs and kind of technical, but easy. It's not hard. I mean, we do it, most of us do it all the time. I mean, not all the time, but a lot. I mean, if you do enough of these machines, you're going to be doing it a lot. But I've done quite a number of them. It's kind of fun. I enjoy it. It's better than just a tune-up. I don't know. I'll find out. He probably didn't even bring it. I'm going to be so sad and disappointed because I want it fixed. I hate knowing that there's a broken machine out there, right? Like I physically know about it. Let me see what you guys are up to. Let's see. This is and the P lady wielding a large chainsaw. Brett says. Bud says banger guns. See it every day on YouTube. I know, Bud. I know. It drives me nuts. Listen, I use banger guns quite a bit. I take things apart, but even then, like I know what to take apart because you could, like in that case of that bolt, if you're not careful and get lube on it or whatever, as you're trying to pull that out, you could really make a mess of things and then you'll have a lot more work. In some cases, you'll have to throw the block out. Then the engine's dead and you're looking for another motor. You break a head bolt in a block, it's probably not worth fixing, especially if it's down in there. If it's just a little bit on the end, okay, I might build. But sometimes you can't get anything in there to get that out. You're going to just, if you start plowing a drill in past all those nice threads, I just say, like, avoid it somehow. There are the right times to use them. Don't ask me when they are. I just know it's instinct. How many of us have broken stuff? That's where instinct comes from. You have to screw up to build your instinct. Bud says, some guy was using banger guns on an aluminum head. Yeah, and trying to put it back together again. So, yeah, I use impacts on stuff, but I use hand tools, and especially on critical stuff. Yeah, and I've done a number of motors where I've kind of pulled them apart and go to put them back together again. And as I'm putting them back together, I show tapping it, making everything nice and clean. And that gets me to this next segment, okay? So let me set that up. That gets me to the next segment. Let's turn this annoying thing off. Hold on. So next segment, chat. Okay, so 1 gig internet and viewer comments. Let me show you the viewer comment. We'll talk about channel changes, industry changes, sort of all in a series somehow. Get rid of that annoying thing. Then I can do this fella. Was it wasn't here? Yeah. Let's see. I'm just checking on. 1 hour and 52 minutes left. Stream looks okay. That's still going. And here is, I think, is it last week's live show? Yeah, let me show you. Come back to here, right monitor. So this was last week's live show. And MeTune 3092, 6 days ago. Yeah, he's been around for a while. I want to give a shout out to him, and he made this comment, which I think is a good comment. And I'll read it out in case you guys can't see it. He says, "Hi, Arch. If I may be honest, I subscribed a couple years back. Truly enjoy the repair videos. In the past few months, to me, those type videos have been on the back burner. Other main topics, such as this one, may be of interest to some, but not me. Respectfully stating, I subscribe to Arch's Garage. Just a subscriber's thoughts." Now, that's kind of important, all right? So once again, he says, other main topics such as this one may be of interest to some. So this is that show, remember, live show, right? So quick look, Mr. Tecumseh's Lawn Tractors. That's what we looked at last week. It's a live show, so I did the Toxic Feminist segment. It's just a segment. Craftsman and Honda carb tuning, and really I looked at the Honda carb, and just quickly I showed you what I was working on with the Honda engine. It was up on the table. Then I wanted to show you a little about that nice black Craftsman mower. So I wrote back, I said, every week I put out repair videos. My live shows are shows, not repair videos, which is true. I do repairs and refurbish every day. Saturday night has always been a little different. I can't eat, sleep, and shit the same thing all day and on the weekends as well. Let's see, is there, it says read more. Let's see. For most, they have a day job, and this may be a hobby or something. I often say it's Archer's Garage. It's not Archer's Small Engines. And it's true. YouTube has become so specialized, seems like people can only watch the one thing they have an interest in. After that, we lose subs and watch time. That's why many shows burn out. I hear many YouTubers express their frustrations on this matter. Oh well, thanks for stopping in, bud. All right, so let me come back. And I thought, again, this is not to beat him up. I think that's a great, thing to say. Like that's feedback from our peeps. That's the feedback. Let's see. Let me switch to this one. Let's see. What was the other one? Hold on. Split screen chat. Right. I'm getting used to it. You can make like hot buttons and shortcut keys, but I don't know how to do that yet. Every time I try to make like a hot button to press, because you can have like a whole console, and this keyboard has a whole spot like way over here. There's a whole section. By the way, this keyboard's broken. I broke it. It has no escape key anymore. I have another keyboard down here. I'm like, oh crap, my escape key doesn't work. So I'm like, I had to put another keyboard all the way down here. This is old. Well, that one's old, and the light burned out. This used to be a backlit keyboard, and it has like a display over here on it as well. Well, sometimes the display doesn't work, but what did burn out was the backlit keys. So then I'm in here in the dark, right? Like, where is it? And I'm like, I don't know keyboards. I'm not a typist. I suck at that stuff. I'm like, great, where's the Q key? Where's the L? Where's the B? And I got to take out a flashlight. And I'm like, I'm a numbskull, like I told you. Like, a lot of my friends used to call me an idiot savant. Because I have moments of like absolute like barren stupidity, and then other moments of like brief like intelligence. Oh, I gotta turn that heat down. It's too hot now. So I thought that was nice. I like it when people critique, not criticism, critique. It's different, right? It was very well written. It's valuable. I wish more people did that, right? Had something to say and said it nice and could explain themselves. Now, I'd like to actually pick his brain and find out more. So, if you're watching, tell me more, right? Tell us all more. Let me come back. Hold on. Banger guns, yeah. I use impacts on stuff, critical stuff. Just do it the German way of tightening bolts and nuts. Good and tight. Yes, wie geht's? Yep. Mark says, he goes, funny, mate. Jamie goes, Jamie says, your channel's awesome and well-rounded. Thank you, Watch. Thank you, Jamie. Brett says, I watch all the content. Bravo says, I only subscribe to folks I intend to invest interest and time in. I love the eclectic different stuff. Once I subscribe, it's a commitment, rightly or wrongly. I kind of feel like the way you guys feel. Like well, first of all, in my defense, I can only speak really for me, is I subscribe to too many people. And lately, I've actually been unsubscribing to a few things because I'm like, well, I watch it for a little while and I'm like, nah. So, but generally I don't do that. But sometimes I do. Like I have like 1,000 subs. I don't know. I have subbed to like so many different things. I have so many hobbies, so many interests, so many things I'm interested in. But sometimes I'll watch something for a little while, and there are people that do, like, I don't want to say a one-hit wonder, but they will step a little bit outside of their genre once or twice. And for some reason or another, those videos are doing really good. And I have been in situations where I've subscribed to that and went back and checked later on. I'm like, they never did anything like that again. What happened? They don't have any new content. Now, that's not me. I'm always doing different things. So let's just take a quick look at my channel again, real quick, and we can talk a little bit about maybe what he means. Hold on. Because this is pertinent to the industry and what I do, right? So come back to right monitor. So just this is the first page, right? This is your home page. And so the last one I just did, for me, 360 views in a day is a lot. For me, it's a lot. The 179, okay. The week before. All right. Simplicity Sunstar PTO wiring, PTO insanity, wiring insanity. Yeah, that is not going to be for everyone. That tractor came out really nice, and there's a lot of videos associated to that tractor in that folder, but it's not a general repair. Definitely not. When you want to work on one of them old tractors, it is not going to be, hey, let me show you how to do a tune-up and a spark plug. The tune-up, the spark plug, the quick fixes, the 15-minute, 10-minute videos, they do really well because they hit the wider berth of people that are out there. But as soon as you pick up an old machine, there is no how-to you're going to do that's just going to be quick and simple. All right, the Cub Cadet, this walk behind, and that was a car build. And then before that, it was the lift bar fabrication repair. And then all right, so those did not do well at all. Of course, they're not going to do well, because very few people have that machine. These two machines here, if you can see them, but, you know, I'm not going to blow it up. But these two machines here, they're more, I wouldn't say they're esoteric. They're what I call prosumer kind of machines. They're walk-behinds. They're not quite commercial. People with bigger properties. Not a lot of people are going to have this. This is the kind of work that comes in. So I'm showing you like a lot of the work that I do. Same thing here. This one had issues. The guy put a different grass catcher on it. He bought it like that. It broke it. I fixed it. You're not going to get a lot of views on stuff like that. What do I not put them out? I mean, yeah, you don't have to. You can not put that out and just do the job, and I can get it done a lot faster and be on to the next job. Make a lot more money a lot quicker if I don't have an effing camera around. All right, the face-off. Toro Turfmaster versus Honda. Well, that got a little bit more views. Yeah, because that kind of hits a slightly broader audience, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And then there's a drive cable install. Well, that's going to take time, right? That's an easy job to me. It's not going to be common because how many people have a Toro Turfmaster, right? This one I just did for myself, right? Because I hate two-strokes. So anytime I can shit on one and piss on one, sorry. This is the Resto Part 1. That's that beautiful Sunstar. Again, how many people have that other than Zippo? Zippo's got tons of them. This one did okay at 375. I mean, compared to the other videos, it did better than the other videos. And that's a rusty table saw repair. Then I did the Cub Cadet motor, which Brett and I like because it's 420cc. I did a valve adjustment on it. Again, it's not common. Now, when you go back in time, all right, Echo, okay, that was something else, a cylinder lock. And these shorts, they never do anything for me. Like, they suck. I'm coming back. Hold on. So, you know, I'm not sure what he's looking for because he represents a segment of the population that's watching the kind of content that small equipment has to offer. What part of that segment? My guess would be it would be more closely related to the video I just did. Tips and tricks, a little bit easier. You know, if in this world, if you start talking about wiring, even among the mechanics, they're like, I don't want to touch it. I don't do wiring. So if the mechanics don't do wiring and electronics, the people aren't going to do it. They're not going to be interested in it. And even when I put out stuff on it, nobody watches it. I want to put it out. I can't help that nobody watches it. That's not up to us, the YouTuber. That's up to the people, and it's up to YouTube whether or not they show it. Let me see. Hold on. Let me come back. Let me switch to the. I gotta get the shortcut. The shortcut is fun. I gotta make a shortcut. See, bro says subscribe. Bud says guitar interest. Right. I mean, I'm into guitar stuff. I want to get back into playing it again, but I've actually put a couple of things out there on that. I played my guitar one night on live stream. Is that like shame on me for doing that? Like I'm not allowed? Mark says, he goes, I like to subscribe to those I like, and I want to invest time into also channels I can learn from. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Brett says, my channel is all over the place. Not tutorials at all. No, it's a different thing. And Brett does like the Time Master, right? You and I both did Honda Toro face-off videos, Arch. Yeah, and I thought that was interesting to do. It was a little bit different. You're not gonna make a habit of doing that. It's something a little bit different. And I think that's the problem, because as soon as you want, I've said this so many times, YouTube has become so like hyper specialized. And I hear this from a lot of people that do all kinds of different genres. And like, as soon as I wander off a little bit, my channel takes a dump. Like right now, my channel is in a dump land. Like it just went, doing that stuff just went. And then YouTube doesn't know where to place you. It's not like 10, 15, 20 years ago when YouTube was starting out. Like a Musty today, like a Musty does all kinds of stuff. If he started today, nobody would watch him, regardless of his technique and the way he is and how he makes you feel like you're there with him. I don't think he would even get a start today, because the algorithms have been changed so much. Not to mention, back in the day, like YouTube these days, like they censor a lot. They've gotten a little bit better, but they censor a lot. And it also has to do like with depending upon where you live, where you come from. If you go to the UK, they came out with laws right now that if you speak out against the government, especially on like Facebook, whatever, they come and knock on your door and they haul you in. They just arrested that one guy a couple of months ago and they threw him in jail because he said something on Facebook against a government policy. And that's starting to happen in Canada. And it was starting to happen here. And it does kind of happen here because they'll blacklist you, they'll downgrade you, they'll downrank you. I mean, even if they don't come to your door and go, come with me, sir, or shut you down, they shut down a lot of channels for various reasons. Even if they don't do that, you may not get seen. And I think I mentioned you guys a couple of seasons ago, I sell stuff on Facebook. Now, this year I got hacked. I haven't finished fixing the account. I've been using Let Go, whatever it is. What is it called? Let's see. Offer Up. Works okay. It's not as, doesn't have the reach as, Marketplace. I'll fix that. But a couple of seasons ago, I got shut down again. It was a few seasons ago. I got shut down as soon as the season started again because I used the word serviced. Now, I don't have a business account. I was just selling it under my, my account, my personal account, using Marketplace like everyone else. And I used an efficient term. I serviced the machine. So I did the oil, the blade, all of that, fully serviced. Well, that's a word that professionals use. Like I went and I had my oil changed in my car serviced. That's a business term as well as other terms. But the stupid AI doesn't know the difference. So what happens is they shut me down. And when you go to complain, to petition it, you're complaining to yet another AI. No person gets involved for like months. Till finally somebody, somehow or other, you get the attention of, and they're like, oh, sorry, sir, we'll turn you back on again. Meanwhile, you just wasted half the season. You're done. You're done. You're broke. So if you're a business, you get to use that word, but you or I? So you could step on a word. You could say something that's kind of innocuous to you, but it offended somebody. So like if I push too hard on something and I offend somebody, they could call and complain. Yeah, they could file YouTube, any one of us. If you say something that maybe is a little off color, or you curse too much, or you smoking the weed, or whatever the hell it is that you're doing. Or I have one guy, how dare you smoke a cigarette, he says to me. I can't believe you're smoking in a video. That's what he said to me. Now, I generally don't. But on the lives, I do. But on my videos, it's kind of rare. The last video, I was teasing because I was pretending that thing was a pipe. I mean, I don't know. Can I get in trouble for that? I don't know. The world's getting freaky. It's like, oh my God, you bunch of babies. And oh, you offended me. You called me a baby. Yeah, I mean, that can happen today. It's getting weird. So I don't know what to say. And that's something in YouTube that if you want to walk a really, really straight line, what did Tom say to Dolby at the beginning of the year, right, this season? I can't take it anymore. I'm shutting it down. Tom has become both very successful on YouTube and very successful with his side business. And the problem that comes with that is why? Because it's repetitive work. It's the same set of lawnmower stuff and blower stuff. And it's the same now common lawn tractors are popular. Very popular. It's the same problems with the same set of lawn tractors. And he's like, between the work, 5, 6, 7 days a week, and the YouTube doing the same thing, something's got to give. And he was like ready to quit. And I can't blame him. And I was feeling his pain. I'm like, oh, bro, please don't quit. Solve this problem. I don't care if you do something different. Take a break. I think they were talking today on Ken's show. You know, they were talking, I think, to Clouds. Like, you know, it's really good to take a break sometimes. It'll shut your channel up for a little while. Oh, I said the word shit. I shouldn't say that. But if you're going nuts, right, you cannot make everybody happy. That's just not possible, right? You got to make yourself happy. 3 rules of YouTube. Don't waste your time. Don't waste somebody else's time. And be careful because you better have some fun. You better enjoy it, right? 3 cardinal rules, right? I feel. Let me come back. Let me see what you guys are doing. I got my glasses on. Yeah, Brett's like, his channel's all over the place. Let's see. Brett says, one of my best videos is me comparing an older Craftsman snowblower to a newer Craftsman. That's how I found you, Brett. Bravo says, I can't be pigeonholed for one thing. I do cars, old motorcycles, ATVs, wiring, remote-controlled electric hoists, and the guy across the street, Moses, freaking, I know, he sees you show that. And you also do stuff on your lathe, on your turret mill press, you drill and grind, and I like that. That's nice. Yeah, and then Brett goes, I may do a floor buffing video soon. Yeah, that would be cool because I've pointed them out when I try to get you guys to do shop tours. Or sometimes I'll find your videos and I'll do them on my live. I peek in. I like to peek in and see, oh, look at that over there. And then one day we were kind of looking at Brett's shop and his garage there. And I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, Brett, those are nice floor buffing machines. I used to have one. Well, it wasn't really mine. It was my neighbor's. And I'm like, I tried to keep it here. And I kept it here because I knew it would be gone. If it went back to him, guess what? It's gone. I knew that would happen. Right? Because he bought like a new tool set, like a proto tool set this summer sometime. And they were working in the backyard, a bunch of them trying to get some stuff together. It's still sitting there. Wide open to the weather, faced up to the yard, to the world, to everything. Rain and crap pouring into it. And I'm like, I remember one time I lent him a tool. I'm like, never again. I had to go over there, go into his basement. The basement floor is covered with crap, stepping on my nice Hawk and some of my other tools, you know, for spackling and everything. I'm like, never again, never again. They just throw it wherever. I'm like, I do not lend tools out. My daughter's like, can my boyfriend borrow tools and his friend? I'm like, no. Well, and people are like, what do you mean no? I'm like, that's what I mean. No, that's exactly what I mean. No. How about no? Well, you're not going to be using it. Who the hell are you to tell me when I'm going to be? First of all, I do all kinds of different stuff. I have no idea when I'm going to pick this thing up and need it right now, and I need to know where it is. No, I've paid a lot of money for this stuff. I've been collecting it for years. I use it to make money. I use it for personal pleasure. Well, maybe not this for personal pleasure, but you never know. Watch what Dodge does. No, you don't get to determine that. I determine that, and the answer is no, period. Bud says, free speech. Welcome to Vika, comrade. Papers, please. Yeah, I was like a bunch of years back, I was on Facebook and some of my friends, they were like thinking they were all patriot and everything. I'm like, you're not a patriot. You're a comrade. The way you're talking, you don't get it. I don't understand. Maida says, I do woodworking, small engines, Coleman, camping stuff, currency, and now solar. Yeah, solar power. And that's a wide range of stuff. Now you have an opportunity. Let's say, Maida, you do that for another year. And you've been putting out a lot of videos. I check them out. Like I said, I don't often comment. So let's say you do a bunch of these videos for another year, right? You can go back. It's a choice. You can go back and look and see which ones did better. And then if you want, you can decide, you know what? I don't need to do those others. Maybe I want to specialize in this because these kind of make me money, or these did better, and maybe I can make something of this. That's a choice, right? Only you can decide that. Some things people have more interest in. They're a little bit more broad in scope. Maybe they're more defined and they hit a certain, funny button that people really want to see. That only the public can really determine that, like what's really popular. And YouTube, because YouTube has to show it to them for the public. And YouTube's algorithms are getting weird. And then they tried this stuff. It got really weird. And a lot of the big channels complained when they came out with these stupid shorts. And they had to back off because it screwed up the algorithm. And now they got the 3-minute shorts. We have no idea where YouTube is going to take us, even if it's social media is going to be around. Because as you saw more recently with this election, what happened? You had CNN, MSNBC, they're firing off almost everybody, and they're selling off all those divisions because they've been getting like no views. You have people that do news shows on YouTube that get hundreds of thousands of millions of views, and the old CNNs and the MSNBCs of the world are getting like 10,000 people watching. If it wasn't for all the big donors, none of those shows would be watched. Or no, they don't get shows anyway. They wouldn't be on. So I don't know. My daughter says, I'm at Tyler's. Oh, okay. Let me say hi to my daughter. Yeah, I guess she just got to work. She must be tired. So I don't know what that means. Like, that's putting a lot of pressure on YouTube. YouTube might just say, you know what, I like the money coming in from all of these big advertisers, and the government is pushing, and the big money people are pushing. To hell with all you little people. Get out of my way. Right? We're downrank you, and get rid of you, and you're too big. You're too big. Go away. Oh, he's too big. Too buku. He's too big. Get rid of this guy. Get rid of that girl. You said something. Shame on you. You're gone. All right? No soup for you. No soup for you. All right? Get out. Oh! Yeah. I do working small. Yeah, Bud says, I often wonder about guys like Vice Grip. Can you imagine the pins and needles and eggshells he has to walk on? Yeah, good point. Yeah, and although he's branching out a little bit into a few other things, but his whole world. And then he started all those other shows, farming and tractors and all that, which I like. I don't watch them all the time, but I do like them. If YouTube shut him off, or YouTube shut down, or there was that internet blackout that they keep talking about, oh man, that would suck. But he's investing his money. See, that's different if you're making a lot and you can buy property and invest and do things, hedge your bets, because nothing lasts forever. But if you're just some little schmuck like me trying to do something, good luck with that. It's a good point. Let's see. His whole life, Bud says, depends on a YouTube god. That's so true. Bro says, it got weird. It's changing and getting better since the election. Maybe not, because when you have changes, it's like a rubber band. You're pulling in another direction suddenly, and you know what happens. Things break. They don't want to move. They pull back. right? We don't know. This is the part that I was saying, like even the industry and YouTube, it's the unknown when things change, especially suddenly. It's that unknown thing that we, you can only speculate on, which also takes me back to the industry, right? I'll get into that too. Mark says, one of my best watch videos is horrible video of me trying to install a tire pressure monitor on a car tire. I just thought, why not record it? And it kind of embarrassing video, but it gets views. I have some of my earlier ones. My more recent videos with better quality and me trying really hard and better equipment, they don't get watched. These old crappy videos that I first started doing that, like you say, they're almost shameful. A few 100,000 views and whatever, which is going to take me into this next segment with the industry and YouTube as well. Yeah, absolutely. Derek lives about 60 miles from me. I followed Vice Grip for freaking years. I know, I love the guy. When I first saw him, I sent a video to my friend Steve. This was like years ago, and you know how weird he is, right? He's wanky, silly, stupid. And Steven and I have built cars for years. He's got a beautiful car. He still hasn't finished it, but it's almost, anyway, I've done plenty of them. So I sent him one of his videos and he watched it and when he wrote back to me, he goes, what the hell did I just watch? Yeah, because we never saw anybody act like that and do anything like that. It's usually like more professional or whatever. Now we're used to him, See, Maida says, I got 2.6 thousand views on my short crushing aluminum cans in the kitchen. That's crazy, right? But that's the mentality of a lot of people. What they want is entertainment. What they will tolerate is infotainment. What they really don't want to see is somebody like me telling them about electronics and wiring and PTO wiring and negatives and positives. Like, they just don't want to see that. Not in this field, right? They want to see oil changes. What they want to see is you do an oil change and the machine blows up and goes on fire. That's what they really want to say. At the end of the day, a lot of the people that are into the small engines, remember now, most people that are into small engines now, they're getting into it because they want to fix it. Because things are getting expensive. And they maybe are getting a little bit older, and maybe they're coming into retirement, or they're retired, or whatever. And they maybe they can be handy, and so there's a market out there for that you can help them with that. There's definitely a market because I started working on small equipment like that when I was a kid, like a really young child. Right, my father didn't know how to fix that stuff, and when times got a little bit tougher, and he didn't want to bring it over to C-Car hardware store to have them fix it or just to buy a new lawnmower. I remember one time he was trying to change a tube on my bicycle tire. And he had the beer out and everything, and he's smoking, and he's drinking. He's getting frustrated. I heard so many curses coming out. Finally, he runs in the house to cool down. He was in there for a little while. I saw what he was doing. And by the time he came back out, I was putting air in it. He goes, what did you do? I said, well, I saw what you were doing, and I finished it. Like, I just put the damn tube back in the tire, put the tire back on. I got it to bead off, and he couldn't do it. Like, I mean, he was kind of a little handy, whatever. He was an artist, really, more than anything else. But all I had to do was just see it. And he did enough. I must have been like 10, 11, maybe 9, 10. I just had to see it enough, and I went and finished it. Now, if I hadn't seen what he was doing, I may not have figured it out. But because he started it, and I got to see inside, and he had the tools, he got mad. He got pissed off and ran in the house. And I'm standing out there, and my bike is still broken. And I'm like, it just needs now to be put back together. He bought a new tube, and he's got everything off. And I watched. I'm like, I'm going to finish this. I'm not going to go bother my dad. You don't want to bother him now. Leave him alone. It'll be fine in a little while. I won't even have a problem with him. My dad was a good man. I'm like, I'll just leave that alone. He needs to go rest. He's got other things on his mind. I'll deal with it. Right? So, yeah. Let's see. Brett says, wait, the aluminum cans. Yeah, made it. That's pretty good. I know, right? Which part of no do you not understand? The N or the O? I like that. Ross is not sure what you use for personal pleasure, Art. Oh, no, not here, not on this channel. You guys want to join my OnlyFans? Yeah. Oh, that makes me sick. Oh, my God. Now I need to drink of water, not coffee. That is too funny. Hold on. We may not want to see that. No, you do not want to see that. Brett says, Arch, if you do end up getting my old compressor, please do a video of updating old Worthington. Yeah, he goes, hi, Tractor. Yeah, she didn't answer me back. She must be shot. Wait, hold on. The girls are talking back and forth. Hold on. Ruth said something. Oh, let's see. I just got home. She says, hi. Straight from work tomorrow again. Are you going straight to work from here again? Where's Uncle David? Virginia still? Laugh aloud. Ruthie, that's my niece, said something about Staten Island. Maybe, yeah, he might be in Staten Island. Yeah, that's not that far. Unless he decides to stay there. So we'll probably see him tomorrow. Break goes, Arch, if you do want to get a compressor, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, stuff blowing up definitely gets views. Yeah, ask me how I know. Yup. Yeah, bro, you almost got hurt. I did not like seeing that. That made me cringe. Bud says, there is a small minority that need videos like yours. Yeah, there's a minority. He goes, I do anyway. Jamie says, your dad was gifted in other areas of expertise. He definitely was. And Maida says, not OnlyFans, we have to see you without makeup first. Yeah, I agree. First, you need to see it. So, yeah, to finish up, where are we? Hold on. I'll come back to here. I did that. Oh, wait, an hour and a half. So that's still uploading, but I am using a lot of bandwidth. So, but it's still going. All right, let me come back to this. Quick look at the concert. Artist Garage. That's me. Where's my live button? That's here. Pressing buttons. Where are we at? We're at an hour, almost an hour and a half. We should maybe do I don't really need to, but I don't really need a pee break. But if you guys want to take a break, let me know. We can do pee lady. But to kind of get to, Britt says, I'll make a video of it in Arch visiting the shop. So to get to kind of the transition now, so depending upon what you do now, here's the problem. Like I said, even like what Tom said, if you just limit yourself to that basic stuff, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with just limiting yourself to just the basic mower stuff. His channel does a lot better than mine now. And there's differences between channels. So, like my friend Renegade, right? He has just south of 20,000 subscribers, but I have way more views than he does because his channel is got the subs. My channel doesn't have. I'm just south of 9,000 subs. So it depends on how you look at your channel. I have a number of videos that are very, very, very popular. So I'm just south of 2 million views. Okay, but my channel isn't popular. Some of my 400 and something videos are. Some of them. The large majority of them are not popular videos. And that relates to my channel because my channel isn't that popular. His channel is probably a bit more popular. However, he doesn't have the views. So therefore, because he would like to make some money. And his question is, well, how do I do that, right? Views. I said to him, I didn't like hearing it, but I said the way to do it is the views. If you want to make more money, it's in the views. If you want more exposure, it's in the views. How you go about doing that, that's something that if you want to change your channel, you have to look at your channel, be honest. It might be very good. Those videos might be very good, but if they're not doing well and they need more views, they're probably very similar in whatever's wrong with them than a lot of my videos. They might be fine videos, but they're not what people want to see. So you could do very well if you limit yourself to the kind of stuff like I just did on the last video. But unfortunately, with small equipment, you're going to run out of that. You're going to run out of videos like that fast because unless you do one video a month, if you only occasionally as a hobby and you do a video like that once a month, you'll do fine. Just consistently do more of those kinds of videos. and you'll do fine. And if you're only doing it like a hobby once a month, whatever, you're not going to wear yourself out. You're not going to wear out your welcome with yourself and with the rest of the channel. But if you're putting out a video every week with small equipment like lawnmowers and stuff like that, it's a tiny little machine. There's nothing to it. There's only a handful of bolts. I've taken apart cars, many of them. There's thousands, and it explodes like a bomb went off. The shit's everywhere. You don't know what to do with it. That, restoring cars and making my show winners, that takes years. There's something they say it's like over 100,000 hours to do a real show car. It's not a lawnmower, right? That you could do a channel on one car, whether or not somebody will watch it or not, but you could literally have videos up the yin yang for the rest of the year, 2 years. And considering that most people do these cars, they're not professionals. They're doing them on a weekend. And then, you're like, oh, I'm going to work on my car this weekend. And then the wife calls and she says, you got to take the kid here. And we decided to go over there. And there's a change that just got made. So then it's next weekend. Next weekend comes, it's rainy. You don't get to do it. The weekend after that comes and you're effing exhausted because you've been working overtime to try to come up with the money to buy the stupid shit. And then if something breaks down, like the washing machine or whatever, and you're like, oh, that money went to that. And then it's more than a month later. Ask me how I know. That's why it took me like 20 years. Although I actually redid the car a few times. But, yeah, a lawnmower, I'm done. I could do the whole damn thing in 2 days. It's done, right? Everything, done. How many ways can I show that if I'm doing it all the time? After 4 years of doing this, constantly, and that's even a couple of years of Tom doing it, he says, I only do it. You need to do more car videos. No. I just did a car video on a motor I happen to like, which is a new, Chinese engine. But you're not going to see it that often. I'm not going to see it that often. I had to do it because I like the engine. It's on that Cub Cadet. It's a Cub Cadet MTD motor. I'll never do another one. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that because I might have to do another one. But it might be years. I mean, they're not common, but nobody's going to watch it. They're not going to watch it for the knowledge. They're not interested in it. So somebody like our friend might say, you know what? Your channel's changed. You've put stuff on the back burner. No, the back burner got unlit. There's nothing left to burn on that back burner. The pot boiled over. There's nothing left. That's the problem, is that you keep doing it. And if you do it often enough, there's nothing left on that burner. It's a little piece of equipment. You can't keep doing it. I have rebuilt them. I've repainted them. Nobody watches that. People say, why would I want to repaint my lawnmower? No, why would you want to repaint your lawnmower? You don't even clean the damn thing. You don't even clean it. You don't even defoul the deck. And then you run over crap and you destroy the blade. Why would they want to clean a lawnmower and paint it? They don't. So they're not going to watch that. Meanwhile, you could learn stuff about, I could show you how to repaint all kinds of machines from that one thing, but no one will watch it, right? So it's a waste of my time to even bother with it because no one will watch it. So I can't keep doing that kind of stuff. So now what happens, right? Now let's take a look at the industry. Well, what's happening? Well, where is Briggs made? China. Let me show you some pictures. I'm going to show you guys some pictures and we'll come back to this. Hold on. And so Bud says, well, there is a small minority that needs videos like yours. Yeah, it is small. I'll make a video of it. Fix the channel, removes the money. Uncle Mark says, views makes the money. It does. Views makes the money. Brett says, most of my place video Charlie wanting attention. Yeah. Hold on, let me find. I want this. I want these pictures here. Broken MTD deck. Okay, so this now takes me into the final part of today's episode. And this is what has a lot of us concerned. Okay, come to here. Let's open up some pics. All right, so these are you see them in my bumpers and stuff. This is your average. Where did it go? I got to go put it in the right place. Hold on. So this is your average MTD deck. This is essentially the same with a Honda, but it's the same thing basically that I put out last week that is doing okay. Except that one had a Briggs 190cc on. This has got a Honda. Okay. And this is what happens to these decks after not even 10 years. Not even. I do restorations, which I enjoy those. I love doing the old Craftsman's and whatever. I love restoring those and the old green ones. I enjoy it. I don't even care if they get a lot of views. They do okay, but they don't get views. I don't make any money on that. This is what you get. Now, Wayne was talking about something with one of those new Chinese motors on it, right? And I don't remember. I don't know what he's referring to exactly. But let's see. Same problem. Hold on. Kind of line up some of these pics here a little bit. He says, I think it's the front piece or something he was saying costs more money than the machine is worth. Like by the time, it's not expensive, but by the time you buy it, you put it on and maybe you got to clean and do a tune up on it and whatever. There's nothing left of the machine. There's no money there. And the customer's not going to want it because you can go get another one for $250, $300. They don't want to be bothered. And that's true for the blowers and the two strokes. And here's one just like the one I just did. Just like the one I just did. I don't know whether that was front wheel drive or not because that's not there anymore. It's gone, long gone. That's what we're going to be seeing. And we're going to be seeing the Chinese stuff coming over from China. All of that stuff that's going to be coming over. And it has already been coming over for several years now. So, just like everything else, all of these companies, Briggs and whatever, many of them, Husqvarna came over, bought up a whole bunch of shops, started making stuff, and then what did they do? They pulled the plug. Threw everybody out in small town America. I mean, they just destroy everything. So this industry is also going through that as well. And so no two-stroke stuff. That's done. We can't do that. Okay. Well, there are some people that do it, and they do okay. For how long? Another year? Another 2 years? I mean, it's just not even going to exist. So, and a lot of these machines are now competing with electric. Well, how many blades can you sharpen? Because that's the only thing you're going to be able to do, especially if you're not into electronics or electrical or wiring. All right, you can't fix it. And usually it's just the battery, and the battery costs as much as a new machine, so just throw out the whole machine. So a lot of that simple stuff that I've done and others have done, even some of the tractors now and the snow blowers, they're trying to shove a battery-operated stuff. A lot of it's no good. Some of it will be okay in the future. But we'll be fixing some of these Chinese knockoff machines coming into the future. But none of us are going to fall in love with some Chinese variant of a Briggs overhead valve. It's like Klaus said, all right? Some of them are pretty decent. Like some of them, like they're getting better. The Chinese are, I've been working on actually talking about that in one of my videos. Can we get good, cheap electronics and stuff from China? Are we at that crossover point? Remember back when Japan started doing this? The tools and stuff was crappy. The electronics were crappy. I'll give them a bunch of years and they were making some of the best. This is kind of happening with China. But we're not going to fall in love with this stuff. It's not made here. There's no sense of pride. It's cheap crap. And eventually, and that's what's driving the American jobs out. Our government is doing. And don't think that, well, Hank could say, well, it's going to change. It's going to change. Why? Because Mr. T's in. Well, Mr. T's planning on doing what? Putting tariffs in. Which means the cost of this $250 lawnmower, which is a piece of shit, is going to be $300-$400. And the $400, $500, $600 machines, which are much better, are going to be even, well, if they're being made in China, which a lot of the parts are going to be having tariffs. So all of this, everything just went up. I mean, some of these machines were $125, $150 a few years ago. It wasn't worth even doing a tune-up on because you could throw the machine. The boxes said, don't change the oil, just add. Because there was no point in changing the oil. But then the economy went to crap. And suddenly now people kind of wanted to fix a few of them. And the ones that didn't wind up like this junk, okay, right away, I fixed a few. Some of us did. They're going to go up in price. And a lot of us are struggling. So now what? Those tariffs are going to change the game. I don't think for the better, at least not initially. So that's where I say conjecture. So we know certain things are happening that we can put our fingers on, but the other stuff is conjecture. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, for a YouTuber, right, for somebody like me or for somebody like Ken, like saws are a big thing. Not here. Snowblowers can be, actually people are starting to watch some of my snowblower videos. I have a bunch of them. But they only get seen really this time of year. There's a couple of months where people will watch them. Johnny knows. He's got tons of snowblowers down in Alabama. Well, actually, be careful because you might need one if your temperature keeps changing like that. But, snowblowers, if you're really into them, they'll do good maybe for a few months of the year. They're fun. I like doing snowblower work. I've got that nice green one, but it doesn't snow that much here. We got we're sticking out in the Atlantic Ocean, and if it stays too warm, it just turns to rain. Or we get a nor'easter, and then we get like 2-3 feet of snow, and we're just buried. But that's not really a YouTube thing. Some of the older snowblowers that have been around, like Ken put one out today. Yeah, the customer said, it's like new. It's only like a couple of years old. He's like, oh, they haven't made this since like 2006, 2008. It's new. Yeah, they don't know. They don't. But that was a nice machine. The older Snow King, those were nice. I like those. Do I have one in the back? I do think I have something similar to that in the back I can fix up and sell. My customer gave it back to me. He didn't want it. He liked the Murray that I set him up with. So, yeah, I mean, you're going to run out of stuff to do. I mean, like I said, I don't do saws. I don't want to do two-strokes. If you're into two-strokes, I do put occasionally out my still two-stroke, which I love. And if you want to do some of maybe the echoes, I've done a bunch of echoes. But how many of those can I do? I don't want to specialize in that. Nobody wants to buy them. You'll put so much time and energy and money into it that you'll never get a dime back. You won't make any money on it. So can't do those. And the regular run-of-the-mill customers around here, they're better off with electrics, and that's what they're buying. My contractor guy, he doesn't want to pay me really to fix them. He's always trying to fix them and work on them, and then I have to help him for a day because he screws them up. And there's no money in that. There's no challenge in any of that. That's a waste of time. There's plenty of other things I can do. What does that leave you? Some of the tractors. But tractors take longer. But there are a lot of people that are just into tractors. And if you do a lawnmower or some other piece of equipment, I'm working on an old edger with one of those old 2.5 horsepower Briggs motors with what the hell's the name of that carburetor? I forget the name of it. There's two different types. You pull the choke out. It's real hokey. This is like what was on mini bikes back in the day. It's just a pain in the neck to do a video like that because it's like to restore that little edger and fix that motor properly and adjust the points. Like I have some videos out on points, but nobody knows what the hell a point is. Like they don't really need to know how to do it. So those people that can make your channel big, when you run out of like the simpler stuff and start going to more esoteric, they're going to hate you and they're going to leave. And then your channel does this. But what else are you going to do? You drive yourself nuts? Let me close this out. Hold on. Get rid of these picks. Get plastic wrap. Hold on. Yeah, views make the money. Bravo says, I don't make money on YouTube. No, you don't want to. Yeah, I have never received a cent for anything. That's what they think of me. I'm good with that. Right? Well, but some of us need money, right? And we would like for our efforts, like I definitely do, if I want to keep this shop and everything, it would be nice. It would help out. Some of the little bit that I do make helps out a lot. And a lot of us that are tight with cash, like I would like to get myself to a point, this is just me being selfish, get to a point where enough money comes in where if I'm looking at like some old tractor or some old, I don't know, anything cool. I'm like, do I have the tools? No, I need some tools. All right, pull some money from the YouTube. How much is that? Okay, yeah. How about will you take this? Pull the money from the YouTube. Bring it home. Put it up on the table. Start making videos. Start having fun, right? Because that's how a lot of us do it like that. Because coming out of my pocket, everything, I can't do it. I can't afford it. And if I were to afford it, it would be like 1 or 2 YouTube videos a year. There'd be none of this every week putting stuff out. All right, I'm actually getting to that point now where that's why I'm starting to do other things because, one, I can't keep doing the same thing over and over again because it would make me crazy. And the other thing is that, like I said, you just run out of that stuff to do. It's not that I'm putting it on a back burner. It's that I can't keep doing it. It's just not there. And moving forward into the future, even if I do some of these Chinese like repairs, I'm going to do a couple of them. I had a couple of those machines. What did I have? I forget what it was. It had that flaky carburetor on it with that flaky air cleaner. It was really weird. I had one or maybe 2. I think I threw it out because it had the crappy body and everything else. And me and Mikey are like, well, geez, what a piece of crap. What do we do with this thing? I'm like, well, we could fix it. Can you get parts for it? I don't know. I haven't looked. I mean, I love restoring the old Craftsmans and the old stuff. Jim's Fix-It Shop. Hold on, plastic crap. David says, plastic crap. Yeah, a lot of it is. Bud says, even Jim, who does snapper rider fixes, is switching to tool reviews. Yeah, because he's tired of doing, how many ways can you, I mean, snappers, people like them. I put out a couple of snapper videos and people love them. I like it. In fact, that reminds me, because I was in the shed today looking for some stuff, and I'm like, my snapper's sitting outside in the rain and everything. Like, it needs to go away, and I need to get my snow blowers out. So I'm trying to schedule for like next weekend or something, empty everything out, make the switch, put the old snapper away, pull the battery out, put it up on its butt, make sure she pull the fuel out of it, make sure maybe drive it around with one last cut, right? Have some fun. I got to do that, and then put it away, right? Because another couple of months, like, I don't know, usually, I mean, it can snow this time of year. It hasn't, but it's been getting cold. And it's been snowing upstate. It snowed some in Connecticut. I mean, it could happen at any time. Bud says, I was at a junkyard today. So many cars just being thrown out because of a fender dented and insurance won't fix it. Yeah, it's horrible what we throw away. And then remember, I think it was Obama did the cash for clunkers thing. They destroyed so many decent 80s and 90s. I think it was cars. I mean, my ex-wife was working in a dealership at that time. They were people trading in even Corvettes. They'd get good money for them. And all of those had to be destroyed. They poured this stuff inside the engine. It wrecked the engine. Where I used to work out at the end of the island, the old Navy base, that became nothing. It became a gigantic parking lot, is what it became. It's for years. Well, after that, that's where they parked a lot of these things because there was so many that the junkyards couldn't process them. And then you guess what happened then after that? The EPA started to clamp down on what was going on out there because these cars were leaking on the parking lot. I don't know how many. These huge area, huge. This is an airport, Navy airport. I worked for Grumman Aerospace, and this is Navy property. They were all leaking and stuff, and the EPA and townspeople were like, this is going to pollute everything. Oh, my God. It just became a mess. All those cool 80s Camaros. I had a couple of them, and all these other trucks and cars gone. And that drove the prices of things up. Brett says, only electrical stuff I do is my hand dryer bench testing. I won't put all of it on YouTube. Those that are up there are there because they are vintage and rare to see anyone working. But there is a need for certain electrical projects. It's just not in this field. I watch other stuff. I watch computer stuff. I watch all kinds of stuff about electronics. There's plenty. That's why I was thinking about doing like AGT, or like one of you guys came up with Archer's Garage Tech. And starting to put stuff on there. I mean, that's like the most natural next step for me is to continue to do what I'm doing on this channel, but then take the stuff like wiring and all that and move it off and start putting it on there because there is a need for it, just not here. It's just nobody wants to see it with small equipment. If it doesn't have a nut and a bolt, forget it. Anything, I think it was Klaus said, any more than 2 wires, no. I mean, I've been trained. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I do house wiring. I've done control systems, electronics, RF, radio frequency, I mean, so to me, I'm not even that good at it. Like, I want to learn more. But if I try to share something here, no one's going to watch it. David Morrison says, they said don't change the oil because the data said that folks don't do it anyway. It will last longer if you just keep it topped off. Right. And then the machine will die because the body will rot out. They'll hit something. It's not worth taking it to the guy to have it fixed. So they buy a new one. Because like around the corner for a tune-up, they get $100. They don't clean it. Or it better be running, because if it's not running, it's a repair. I think it's more than $100 now. So all you get is a quick blade sharpening. If you need a blade, that's more. They're not going to take the carburetor apart. They're not going to clean the crap out of your tank. You know it's going to need that anyway. Most of these things stop running. That's a repair. So it's oil, filter, blade sharpening, $100. Brush the dirt out of the way. Just brush it. And then maybe not even. Okay. So, I mean, I do for like 150, I go over everything. And people are like, oh, that's a lot. Okay, well, then don't use me. I don't know what to tell you, Go buy another machine. So there's like nothing left, after that. But this is a local shop. Let's see. Made it. Oh, yeah. Wait, hold on. So made it went. I love going to the dump. Made it went over. Hey, I saw that episode because I went to my local scrap metal place and bought the aluminum scrap to build the base for my solar panels to sit on, cheaper than buying new. Yeah, I know. I saw some of that. I love scrap. I love aluminum and steel, and I like wood too. I'm into wood, but I just made. I'll probably show it some other time because it's too late tonight. But I made for my door transition, right? So when you come up the ramp from the outside, you guys have seen that ramp. Then I think I showed you fellas that I, replaced the door seal and all that. And I put the oak and a little piece of steel, the end cap, made a nice transition. And there's the oak. And because I got to get the machines up and over. But then there's a transition that I needed to get into the shop. Well, why? I said to one, I said, if you come across some steel, 1/8 inch, 11/32, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, nice long piece. Perfect width, cut the length. I cleaned it all up nice. I welded on like some brackets to sort of lay it on the transition area. And I got to do like one more thing to it. I don't know. It probably won't be tomorrow, maybe Monday or something. And then perfect. And it doesn't matter what weight it is, what tractor it is, what machine. I got to bring that right in. And that right is a monster. It's heavy. I mean, I went to shove it forward. I think I showed you guys a little clip of that with the big tractor. And the big tractor with one wheel with the double chains and those monster tires lost traction. I had to hit the posi thing on the back, right, to push that stupid right. So that's the kind of crap that comes in and out of here. Now, I'll put that up on my channel, and a lot of people will be like, I'm not watching that. I've never seen one of those. I don't want to watch that. It doesn't tell me how to do anything. But if somebody else did, like if Condon did that, if he put something up, the guy could throw up on a plate right now and be like, oh, let's check it out, James. Oh, hamana. That's how people are. If I put it out there, it'd be like, oh, that's boring. I don't want to see that. I don't even know what that is. Why is it so big? Look at rusty piece of crap. I mean, I could get bigger by just doing a really simple thing, but then that would be great. And then Archer's Garage would have more views and I'd make more money. And then I would go do the right and the whole channel would tank. Or I could just take it on the chin because I got a big one and a big nose. And just bite the bullet and just make the transitions to my channel. And my channel is what it is. And maybe one day it'll grow. I'd rather be happier doing different things, The rules. Don't waste your time. Don't waste somebody else's time. And don't piss yourself off, right? You got to have some fun doing it. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Uncle Mark says even cars, they're coming up with the lifetime oil in the transmissions. It's all throwaway, except stuff is getting too expensive to throw away. Right. But a lot of the stuff isn't meant to be repaired. Like my daughter's car, I didn't even know this. Like I'm into cars, but not into all of the new stuff. And we were like, where's the dipstick to the transmission? There is no dipstick. It's a special procedure to change the transmission fluid, and it needs to be changed. And I told her that. I'm like, why don't you have your mechanic guy do it? I'm like, I'll do it, but we have to get it up and level, and there's a whole procedure. I looked into it. I'm like, I can do it. Or the guy that you usually use will take care of it. Well, now she's struggling with work and stuff, so she doesn't have the money. But I'm like, you need to do it. I don't care. It needs to be done, even though they made it difficult. Yeah, they made the whole process out of it. I did the van. I did the, what is that? And, let's see, so 4.3 liter V6, GMC Chevy. It's got the 4L60 in it. So it's up there. I put it on YouTube. Nobody really watched it, but I dropped the pan and I did the gasket and made it all nice and I show how to do it. This isn't really the channel for that because the people that are looking to fool around with the small equipment will not touch their cars. Like they just won't do it. They don't find it interesting. I think there's a difference between being a mechanic and a handy person. And a handy person that doesn't want to be a mechanic. With me, I take everything apart. I'll look inside of anything. Like I said, I've done plumbing. I've done electrical. I've done house construction, decks, sewers, a shovel, backhoe, aircraft. I've worked on fighter jets. It doesn't matter. I'm like, it's all the same. HVAC control systems, air conditioning, heating. I don't know, pick anything. It doesn't make a difference to me. I'll get into it sooner or later. Electronics, which I even took, a lot of the stuff I took in school too, by the way. I had to go to school and sit there in courses at night or whatever, or college, and I paid for it. Some of it I got for free from some of the companies or whatever I worked for. A lot of it was on the job. I just remember one of my teachers, I think it was, Mrs. Mancini, science teacher. She used to call me Motor Mouth. Motor Mouth, shut up back there. Is that you making all that noise? Shut up and pay attention. Okay, Mrs. Mancini, I'll pay attention. And I would pay attention and I would listen. And I'd pay attention and I would learn stuff. And then my mouth would go and she'd go, Motor Mouth, what are you doing? Yeah, she was awesome. So I just all right, I'll learn how to do it. How bad can it be? And you'll find is that after a while, it's all the same. Like electrical and plumbing, it's the same thing. There's wires and tubes. It's pathways. It's the same crap. Let's see. No, wait. He goes, Jim's Fix-It Shop. Yeah. Bud says, yep. And I like Jim. Like he was getting cranky too because he was getting burned out. Mark says, he goes, I'm hoping YouTube, hold on, let me put this back. I like this. I want to keep playing with this part. It's a split screen. See, it is actually like a click away, but I'm not good at doing it yet. I'm hoping YouTube will supplement my retirement. Anything will help. Yeah, because I would like to retire, but I don't want to retire. But I have to semi-retire because of health issues and stuff. So I can't go out there and do what I used to do. I'm going to be 61 in January. I don't want to. I set up the scaffold frame and everything in the back, and I want to move a section. But it started to move on me because I haven't done it in a long time. And here's this 150, pound thing. It's now, the other one's all the way over there. I can't reach it. I'm holding on to the crossbar. This one's going in the wrong direction. I didn't realize it wasn't the right one because I have two different types. If I let it drop, it could hit the window. I'm like, oh crap, if it hits the window, I'm really going to have a lot of work and money. So I'm trying to hold these things together. Well, I hurt my neck because I hurt my shoulder a few weeks back because this is the weak side of my body. And that got better. Now I'm like pulling on my neck muscle and I managed to keep them together. And then I had to reposition them so I could take them apart and get rid of it. And then I'm carrying these things around and I got this 400-year-old gigantic lumber I'm throwing up there. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do it. I want to do it. Because keep in mind, I was crippled for 12 years. I walked with 2 canes. You know, I couldn't do any of that. Bend down to wash your feet. Good luck. I couldn't even wash my feet or cut my own toenails. And look at how far I come. No, I'm not putting my foot in my mouth. I do that on anyway. That's why I have this stupid chair that makes all this noise. It's because at night I have to do things like this. If my doctor is like, you should tell people more about that. I'm like, why? Who wants to hear that? And he's like, because you were crippled and in agony and now you're not that bad and you can move around. Like, people don't realize that you can do and fix. It's not going to be easy. I can tell you that. It's not a guarantee. You know, I don't walk with the canes anymore. I'm holding up scaffold frame walking around the yard, and I shouldn't be doing that, right? But why not? Why? Because you're going to be in pain for 3 weeks and you won't be able to lift anything if you hurt yourself. I'm trying not to hurt myself, right? But I'm getting stronger. I mean, I'm losing some weight because I'm pressing too hard. But you know what? I like doing that stuff. Like Mark bought that tractor, which I haven't been back to your channel, Mark, to see what's going on, right? You bought that tractor. I think it was you, right? Because I haven't been back to look. And forget about notifications, right? I sign up for notifications for all you fellas, and I get occasionally something weird or whatever. I'm like, where's all the notifications? I should, with all the channels that I subscribe to, I should be able to log on in the morning, right? When I come out here and I click YouTube. I should see a list like this long of all of the stuff you guys have been up to. Where is it? What happened to YouTube? Anyway, let me see what's going on. We're almost getting to the end, fellas. Yeah, that would be nice. You know, everybody should have a little something for their effort, I feel, with YouTube. Even if it's a little bit. But you should have something for your effort. There's plenty of money in it. Doesn't mean we're going to get any of it, but there's plenty of money in YouTube. They take a lot. He goes, Brett says, I watch a concrete contractor channel, Victory Outdoor Services. I'm not a concrete finisher, but the content is interesting. Yes, it is. And I've worked with concrete. And I used to be the head mixing guy. You know, it's like being 25 and mixing up what we call guinea mixing. You want to get blown up? Right? And tan and blow it up and pumped up. Do that for a season. Oh, yeah, you'll get strong. And you learn how to make concrete. You know, I mean, you can order it, but if you want to mix it up for yourself, it's helpful to know if the sand gets wet, if things get wet, if it's really dry. You know, you want to know how to lay footings. And we laid all the footings over here. There was no footings over there. They were garbage. Right, I laid the footing for my Bilko door. I put the Bilko door in. And I remember Mr. P came over, God rest his soul, before he died. Because he showed me a lot. He goes, oh, where'd you learn how to do that? I'm like, from you. And I used some new materials because they came out with some new bonding agents or whatever. And that's one of the problems with if you're working to old concrete or old block or old footing. It's hard to get the two bonded. They can move and crack, and especially here on Long Island where you get all these different temperature and water changes. And but yeah, it came out really nice. And I put the stucco and I made the Bilko door fit. And I had to cut and weld. And he goes, oh, where'd you learn how to? You. I learned it from you. He was in his like 80s at that point. Yeah. You know. He goes, Rich goes, do some guitar videos. Yeah, I would like to. Hold on, wait. Something my income. Mark says, I will have no pension from work. Yeah, I know. That's a lot of us. And that's the other problem. A lot of us, all these companies, I would have had a nice pension from a gigantic company that sold out. And that's my whole life. You know why I know all the shit that I know? Because that's been my whole life. And when I remember, I tell the story a lot, sitting there on Stan's front lawn, my friend's father, when Bill Clinton signed NAFTA and GATT and all the other shit, and I said, that's going to screw me for the rest of my life. No, it'll be good. Until years later, I've told the story, sitting in his business when he's getting ready to sell it. I'm pulling my hair out. I can't take it. Those damn Mexicans, it could cost me all this money. I'm getting out. All right. I told you, and that every job I worked at sucked off the planet, sucked off Long Island, sucked off the United States. Moved out somewhere else. Go find yourself another job now, Arch. Well, where? Go reinvent yourself again. Well, where? Doing what? Now it's Walmart. I mean, there were a couple of jobs left, but good luck. Even my neighbor, he went through that because he worked in banking and stuff. Oh, he's been miserable ever since the day they threw him out. And even like another friend of mine, he was like 40 when they told him you're useless now. He was a job shopper for doing AutoCAD work, starting at the beginning when AutoCAD was just starting to happen. I know AutoCAD a little bit. He showed me a lot. I was doing it for years. When he hit like 40, a little over 40, they were like, we pay you too much. Fortunately, he had been investing his money all these years, traveling around, working double time, overtime, all this stuff. I remember now, never bought a house, never had any kids, never got married, never had to worry about anybody but himself. So and he met somebody in the old neighborhood that taught him about investing. So he took all of that and put it away. So he was able to retire at 40, but he's like, nobody wants me. He went overseas. He worked for big companies. Yeah. So, like, my daughter and her boyfriend are struggling. Like, she is having a hard time finding another job now. He just got fired again from food services, from something else. It wasn't a good fit. I said to them, you guys need to get yourselves some skills, real skills. You can't just work a job. Well, go to college, right? Well, that's ridiculously expensive, and then you'll be paying literally for the rest of your life. I don't know what the answer is. Concrete work. But that's hard. You have to be physically in good shape to do that or own the company or direct the people, which means you better learn Spanish. Not to be a dick, I'm just saying. And even in the construction fields, I know people that know Spanish. And one of the guys I know that actually I fixed some of his stuff for him, and he did my neighbor's roof. And no kidding, okay? He's got a big company now. He's been building it up. Now, he's a gay man working in a construction field. He knows Spanish. And this is not, I'm not judging, I'm just saying. So don't think you can't. So a gay man in a construction field running men. And Spanish, and he knows how to speak Spanish. And he'll go up there on that roof. So it doesn't matter who you are or whatever. None of that matters. What it matters is something else. That something else, whatever how you define it, it's that something else. Because today in this world, you better figure out what that something else is. So it's no excuse that you're gay or you're not gay. It's no excuse that you're a lesbian or not a lesbian. It's no excuse that you're white or not white, or a woman or a man, or you have knowledge or you don't have knowledge. I don't know. It's that something else. One, it's drive. You got to have the drive. And I've seen this even with my daughter's boyfriend. I'm like, you smoke too much pot. What do you mean? It's legal. I'm like, I don't care that it's legal. Pot is an ambition killer. Same thing with booze. But pot more often because you can do it anywhere. And there's currently no laws. The police can't really, what are they going to do if you're high and you get into a car accident? I mean, I'm sure there's something, but it's not like booze. I'm like, it's okay maybe at the end of the day after you've accomplished all these things and you need to unwind. But you're smoking during the day? Why? What's wrong with you? And your friends are doing that, and they don't want to what? They want to game and sit in their parents' basement? Mikey's brother's like that, young Mikey. He talks about it. Mike's not like that. He's outraging. I'm like, what I was told maybe a long time ago, and I don't want to get graphic. I'm like, but, to be a man, right, what you want is a lot of gumption. Mike's a little guy. All right. So again, little guy, a little tang guy, right? It doesn't matter what your size is. It matters the size of your own guts, and that's got to be sticking out. And then your size of your wallet, and that should be in the front pocket, sticking out, right? And then you go out there in the world and rage, especially while you're young. And I think on that, let me read the rest of this and we'll get out of here. But I think that's it, regardless. Anyway, so the concrete, Victory Outdoor Services. Barry, hey Barry, rock on Arch, keep up the good work. Mitch says, do some guitar videos. I'd like to do that. And Brett says, you and I could have done that pumping the valves in my balls. Sure, absolutely. Now, you just need a little bit of help, Brett, only because of your eyes. It's not your brain. It's not your capabilities, right? You just need a little help. Now, if you had a little bit more money, you could hire somebody to help you. right? Like I watch Wrangler Star. It's nice when you've been doing something for so long on YouTube, and he's worked his ass off. So I'm not begrudging him anything. But he hires his guy to help with a lot of stuff because even he's getting a little older and he needs help. You know, I hire some people from time to time. I generally don't have the money, but it is nice. It is nice. A helper. I don't know where you get them from. You know, I have no idea. Well, maybe you got to learn Spanish. We got plenty of Spanish people. Juan is my friend. He's Spanish, but he came over a long time ago. It's different. And he helps me from time to time, right? We do stuff if he needs me for something. Actually, I got a job for him. It's been sitting all year. He was in no rush. It's a generator. It's a real piece of crap. And I have another one just like it that's been sitting back there forever. So I want to clean them, and I want to take them all apart and go through them. And if I need any parts, I'm going to fix his and throw out the other stuff. You know, I don't know. We got to find a new way of doing things. Like, you know, and I've been doing some barter trading and stuff, which I like that. I love that. My friends and I used to do all kinds of barter work back in the day. Long before all this other stuff, because there's something about, like, I grew up around a lot of Jewish people, and they taught me how to like not just barter, but haggle. Right? Like, we never paid. My friend and I, Rob, like, we would go buy, I remember we would buy, like, audio equipment back in the 80s. We would go to, like, Crazy Eddie or whatever else, right? You remember that? And there would be, like, a list price. And, like, I'm not paying that. What can you do for me? You know, like, you shop on Amazon, and I just saw it recently, too. 25% off. Bullcrap! I know what that price was. I've been watching that item. You didn't do anything. You just said not 25% off. That's crap. That's crap. I call it right there. It's the same damn price. We go into these stores and be like, what can you do? What can you help me out? I'll buy two. If you can give me, you know. Oh, man. Thanks for focusing on age, Arch. I'm going to be 75 in March, man. Yeah, man, and I'm going to like 61. Like, we need some help. Like, we need some gumption. You know, we need to think a little bit different. And as long as you're not dead, I mean, that's my attitude, too, because regardless of the age, I'm at, like, why shouldn't I be able to lift that? Okay, maybe not today, but if I start exercising a little bit, maybe we'll see in a couple of months. Can I lift it? How far? I was moving one. I left one of the scaffold frames I left in the yard for the past week and a half, 2 weeks. I forget. Like, I can't lift it now. I hurt myself. Well, when can I lift it? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Well, today I kind of lifted it. I kind of rolled it. It was still heavy because I don't weigh as much as I used to. That damn thing weighs probably more than I do now. So I got it, put where I wanted it, and then I had to lift it. I'm like, well, I don't really want to lift it with this side. Can I kind of lift it like this? Yeah, I can do that. And I don't have to go very far with it. So I have to be more mindful of what I used to do. Geez, when I was younger, I'd just be like, oh, yeah. You know, no, not anymore. Not anymore. Be careful. You can still do. You don't have to be a madman about it. Don't give up on anything. Don't give up. I'm like, okay, I'm crippled now. All right, well, I said to my chiropractor at the time, I was like, how long? I said, let's just, you know, he was still a young guy. We were still kind of both young. But I said, in your practice, in your experience, how long do you think this will go on for? He goes, well, 10, 12 years. And I said, well, what's it like at the end of 10, 12 years? He says, it'll be a lot like a bad case of, what do they call that when your joints don't work right? Arthritis. I'm like, well, that will be better than what it is now. You know? He's like, I'm like, you think I'll be able to move and do stuff? He's like, well, probably not what you were just doing last year and playing volleyball with us. That's out. Okay, well, all right. You know, but now I can do this. And I can walk and I can carry stuff. And I don't need two canes. That's a nice development. I'll take that. Cha-ching. You know? Let's see, Brett says, you should give Victory a watch, Arch. Pretty cool. Yeah, definitely. I like the concrete. Well, occasionally I go back over all that stuff anyway, because I'm like, I want to thinking about doing something. Yeah, Maida says, I'm happy working for a company building cabinets. That is a nice job. Down south, there's a little bit more opportunities for stuff like that. We used to be the manufacturing center up here. That has just been whittled away and washed away and gotten rid of for generations now. Since the 60s and 70s, we were still cranking out a lot of stuff up here. Remember?
Dial Murray Hill 51577 for get yours now, right?
Like we sold everything. We made
The Ronco, right? The Ronco, I don't know, weed eater and fishing machine lure.
remember Ronco? They would combine these and make it pocket size so you could fit it in your glove box, right? That was all made here. All that crap. Call
Murray Hill 5.
It's usually like New Jersey or somewhere in Brooklyn or Bronx or whatever. They were making crap like that. Shit, my ex-wife, when I first met her, like one of her first jobs, when I met her, she was working for this company called Renko, and they were soldering and doing something with circuit boards and discrete components and putting them in. Nobody does that here anymore. Yeah, all those years ago. Yep. This is, and Bud says Ross Perot, giant sucking sound. He was so right. Yup. Fred says, good evening, Arch. Mitch says, I'm 72. Use it so you don't lose it. That's absolutely true. You have to keep going. All right. I think that's what happens to a lot of people. Like I watch now just to we'll get us out of here on this. I watch some of these fellas. And by the way, this is, if you want to do a YouTube show, I've seen some of this now. I've been watching it. And, doing YouTube over 40, doing YouTube over 50, doing YouTube over 60. These fellows are getting out there and they're saying, can you do? Should you do? Yes, you should. And here's some ideas. Now, for me, right, I could make a show on not so much doing YouTube over 40, 50, 60, but what about the equipment? Like one of the guys I was watching, he was showing how he set up his little area and what equipment he uses. And in fact, for Ken, I want to put together... Ken wants to connect a bunch of stuff, and his son wants better internet. So I want to put together like an Amazon shopping list. The Cat 5e or the Cat 6, the connectors, the crimping tool, the stands that I like, right? For the K&F concepts and all of this stuff, and what microphone. Because he asks, but it's a bunch of different things, and I like some of the cheaper stuff. Not the cheap crap stuff, but like this stuff, right? Like for your cell phone, right? Simple stand. And then I like this piece here. Now, I'll take it off just to show you. So it comes right off. But this one here, like I could make YouTube videos on this. I can't do it on this channel. They were actually talking about that today, like show your equipment. Hank has got like a nice setup he's been working on. I didn't catch all of it because I've been in and out all day trying to get stuff done before it gets dark at 4 o'clock. But maybe I'll show it on that camera. But where is my other cell phone? So like this cell phone is on this little stand, which this controls that camera right now. It can control the other camera. But this cell phone here, I'll show you. I love this little thing, right? You just take it. And what I really like about it is it's all aluminum, and instead of like that one has a spring mount and the damn phone pops out and falls on the ground and I fumble with it, look, I just turn that little knob, and then it has a shoe mount here as well as the quarter 20, and show it on this camera too. See that nice little good knob? Clamps nice and positive. I know it's on there. It's got a little spring. Who is that? Let me see. And then the shoe on the bottom, it's a standard mount. Yeah, Ulanzi. So we got the quarter 20 there. That's a shoe, so I can mount it where that camera is or on that stand over there. So it's universal mount. And then my K&F Concepts, it's easy. I just loosen up one of the knobs and I can go from widescreen. And if I want to do a short, loosen it up, done. Aim it at something, because some of the older cell phones, they don't necessarily have like good stabilization on them, so you don't want to necessarily hold it. So if you don't feel like holding it, if you're going to do a longer shoot, you don't want to hold it. You can mount it to this, mount it to your K&F. If I want, I grab my camera. It's the same kind of mount on the bottom. I forget what they call it. It's just slipping my mind right now. But they're all using the same mounts. whether it's a cell phone or my better cameras, it's all the same. And it's better than this clip-on crap, right? Which just goes boing, and I'm like, and sometimes it falls out, and like, so like you could do stuff like that, just not on this channel. And some of these fellows are talking about, should you do it over 40 or 50 or 60? And the answer is yeah. And a lot of them, you should see the views they get. And they're like, their first few videos, 60,000, 100,000 views. I'm like, what the hell? They're just talking, showing. I'm like, here, try this light. This is an Amaran light, right? 25,000 views. I'm sitting here all day long fooling around with junk, breaking my guts, right? And this guy goes, yeah, check this out. And he's got the views. I'm like, I know how to do that. And I think guys our age should do YouTube channels, whatever you want to work on. It doesn't matter. I don't judge. Doesn't matter. Like, why shouldn't we? What, you got to be young? Was it the law saying you got to be some young pup where you got to show you boobies and the cleavage? That's nice. I'm not saying that's a terrible thing. We don't have those. I'm not planning on getting any. Nothing wrong with it, but we don't have that. So what, are we no good because we don't have the here? I'm 72, lose it. Will you help me sometimes to do a live stream watch? Yeah, sure. In fact, there's one more. Hold on, I'm going to do one more. Maida says, what help do you need? Yeah, Maida will help you too. Okay, because Maida's been learning. He knows a lot. He's got computer stuff he's into. Some of us know this other stuff. We don't all put it all up. We don't need to. And it says, you and I talked about Olsen's one on a 7-hour live. Oh, my God, yeah. I don't know what you wrote there, but let me just show you one more thing. I think if I can get to it quick and we'll get out of here. Something another fellow said to me, and he's an older gentleman. Let me see here. There's that. Let me move that out of the way. Let me swap to here. And one more thing, and this is an older gentleman, and it actually goes to what I was talking about earlier. So that video was, let's see, let me go to my videos real quick. That was an older video I did, and we'll get out of here on this last one. Let me find the video. It was one of my first videos, and he commented similar to what the other fellow did, and he had was asking me, and give me some tips and hints on what I should do, what I didn't do right, what I didn't do well. He was nice about it. And I didn't get a chance to show him. Let me just show him real quick. And I answered him back. Hold on, let me find it. We want the videos tab. And I wrote him back. I waited to write him until I had something to say, and he liked what I wrote back, and he was like happy that I responded to him, and he asked me if I could help him with his live show. He wants to do a live show. He's an older fellow. He wants to do some kind of live show like with Ken, but I don't know what subject, but it doesn't matter. He's like the technical end of it, like the inspiration and the help and, how to work it out. Let me see. Where the hell is it? I'm not going to find it on any kind of notification because it's been so many have popped up since then. But I know it was a pressure washer. And it was like 2-3 years ago, maybe more. But he just recently watched it. And he doesn't know my channel. That's the first time he's seen it. And he's looking at like a beginner's video of Arch's Garage. Like Arch as a beginner YouTuber, Which is cool, which is kind of cringeworthy because it's like I'm not like that now, but that video people like, and like I don't want to get rid of it. But it's the Arch cringeworthy. Because Arch is cringeworthy anyway, but it's early cringe. It's early cringe. It's early Arch cringe. Hold on, I'm still scrolling. That's the problem when you have over 400 videos. You'll be scrolling for a while. I'll find it, or I could just click on the pressure washer tab. Let's see if I can find it. It's here somewhere. Ooh, I think we're getting close. I may have to click on the pressure washer tab. I kind of remember it. Like sometimes people ask you questions about really old videos and you really don't want to rewatch one of your old videos. I think I better click on the pressure washer tab. Hold on. Let's go back up to playlists. And I'll bring you in a minute. I know it's just me. Let's see. I also have too many playlists, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely got too many playlists here. It's that one I showed you earlier. Wow, I got a lot of playlists. Oh, here it is. View full playlist. All right, let me bring you over. And we'll get out of here on this one. Let me monitor, right monitor. Let me put the headset on. Mostly, I'm not going to play it. I just want to... I think it's this one. It's this one, the Generac. So we should be coming through. Let me make sure. Channel content, YouTube. Oh, look. Our upload is 12 minutes left. You guys see it? Uploading 90%. So the whole stream has been running, and we're almost fully loaded up. There's the pressure washer. Let me find you guys to make sure my broadcast is okay. Put that on this monitor here. And I think it's this one. That's a Generac. I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, wait. Cool. No, hi. Oh, let's just rewind that. Hold on. Remember that? That was all I could get away with. I think it was this one. Let's see. There's Brett commented. Is it this guy? Maybe it's not. If I can't find it in a minute, then we'll try it next time. But maybe it wasn't that one. Oh, hold on. We have... It's not that one. Oh, it's this one. It's the home light. I'm glad I made that mistake because that was fun. That was fun. Right, shut that guy up. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, this is it. All right, I'll read it. Because, let's see, read more. We want to get to the actual comment he made. That's not his comment, though. That's his retort to me. So, is he down here? Yeah, here he goes. Okay, good. Okay. So, Hugahead wrote, just tried watching this video. You omit several preferences of items you're choosing. Some viewers are novices requiring a more detailed explanation of the steps, products, etc. You're assuming we're all mechanics out here. Take time for better explanation of the spruce up of this machine. Now, that's a great point I think the guy is making. This goes to this kind of point that I made earlier that the other fellow made. Now, this video, I wrote a reply. I said, yeah, it's one of my first videos. This was 9 days ago. It's a learning experience making vids. There isn't any manual. Running cameras, editing, shooting, lighting, and narration, and being a mechanic all at the same time. Not to mention, if it's too long, people won't even watch it. Often of my over 400 vids I have, YouTube won't even show them. And I went a little bit longer. The average watch time on all long format vids is about 6 minutes. So although you're right, good luck with it. I'm doing this 4 years now, and I'm still trying to bridge all of those gaps. At this point, it's over 400 published, hundreds of videos I deleted from the channel, and currently I have over 4 terabytes of raw footage on hard drives. Not megabytes, terabytes. Are you ready to be a YouTuber? LOL, right? So I'll come back up. And this is an interesting correspondence. So this video is from four years ago and has 14,000 views. China clone, Chanda, Subaru. It's like a Subaru clone, really. So he writes back, for those of you who can't see it, thanks for your quick response and feedback. I'm both enlightened and blown away at the persistence that you have shown over the course of time running this online business. What would you recommend my partners and I are launching a podcast in the next week or two? And what would you recommend the first pitfall to watch out for? I'd like to take time to share some of thoughts with you and maybe have you come on a podcast and explain the intricacy of having a YouTube channel. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? My name is Andrew. Yeah, that was nice. It was a good correspondence. I'm enjoying this, right? So I wrote back. First, oh boy, look at that. I says, let me say thank you for the critique without the nasty tone that many others have. Mistakes are part and parcel of how we humans learn. But I've said to other YouTubers that I feel some guilt in the inadvertent victimization of our viewers receiving us tubers in our early years, often truly sucking wind in our newfound craft. Yeah, right? Because you're kind of victimizing people. Because if you suck in the beginning, it kind of sucks for them to watch you, is my point. I do a live show on most Saturday nights around 8:30 EST, off topic and on, along with infotainment scenarios, rants, and I always enjoy chatting with the folks in the text window. I'm about to get my internet upgrade to fiber. Woo-hoo! I would love to come to your show. Pitfalls vary, technical issues, ability limits and extents, topics vary. I think the largest pitfall is ourselves. Many people have really good intentions. We all watch YouTube, and I myself, just a huge fan of it. However, when we watch others, we will have this small window, a peek into that world without the larger view. So you're kind of looking through a camera, or the sense of you have this little world that you're trying to show, but we kind of lose sight of the bigger plan, the bigger world. When we watch ourselves, we see through some kind of odd filter, one where we are blinded by our lack of technique, abilities, knowledge, and perception. We don't realize how bad we're sucking, is what I'm really saying. We don't realize what we really need to be doing. We don't see that, okay? We often stand behind the camera, no matter in front or behind. We see the entire world in our view, never realizing that we must look through the camera. You got to look through the camera. What are other people seeing when they watch you? And you should be looking through the camera at some point, the eye of the camera, into that very narrow view of the world the viewer sees. When we learn that world, how to show it and how to tell a story, it is then we cross the line of just being someone with a camera and a mic to one who is creating a craft. So let me know, Andrew. I will check your channel out. Now, he hasn't done anything yet, really. And it's very hard to say that and to really explain it. Because theoretically, I mean, figuratively, you should be looking through the camera. You ever notice, like, directors, right? They do these director cuts, and what do? Right? They have the little monocle, and they do this. And what they're trying to do is not just see if that fits in a frame, but what kind of frame? What are you trying to show? It's a craft. And occasionally I'll talk a little bit about it, like, what should you show? What are you trying to show? People don't realize, like, there's a whole craft to it. Like, why are some things up close and why are some things further away? And some people are naturals, but most people, no, they're not, right? We stand in front of the camera and we think we should be in front of the camera. Why? What are you trying to show? You? Or the thing you're trying to show? Why are you standing in front of it? If you're trying to show the thing on the table, why are you even in the picture? That's not your moment. Why? Because you could see yourself? Like my ex-wife says, she says to me, you just like to hear yourself talk. Well, you just like to hear yourself scream. All right, I got to get out of here. I got some stuff to do. Everybody, thanks for stopping in Archer's Garage. It's been long enough. How long have we been doing this for? How long? Let's see. What does it say? Where did it go? 2 hours and 33 minutes and 54 seconds? That's crazy. That's a longer one. Dilly Dilly! One no says, Dilly Dilly! Brett, he goes, Brett, I have streaming people on the YouTube side of chat. Nope. All right, right out here. I'm sucking on some sugar because I can feel my sugar levels dropping. And I want to eat a little bit of sugar. And since my sugar levels are dropping, because I can feel it, it's time to have this. This is when I can do it. I'll just pop a half a sugar pill in. You can tell. You can feel it. And if it goes down too low, I die. Yeah, your heart starts pounding. You start sweating. And, oh, man, it's bad. Which says, have a good week. Excellent show, Arch. Thanks, Brett. Dilly. All right, we're out of here, fellas. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much. But it was just not... I like it when you guys hang out. And I like it when people have criticism. Especially, I thought the two guys that gave me a bit of critiquing, they wrote it well. Great interaction. Good information. Thank you to them as well. And to everybody else. I'll see you guys later. I'm choking on sugar. See you later.